Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé táwa yìí sẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. Ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dẹni gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa. Ẹ dákun yé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, lẹ́bàá lówó kẹjọ kẹtọ́ wa.
At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Do me a favor, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Shout out to everybody on this beautiful, kind of hot. It was kind of hot outside in Atlanta. Monday afternoon. I hope you guys had a very long, extended 4th of July weekend, because 4th of July was on Thursday, but hopefully you guys took Friday off as well. Hit the like button, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Before we get started, we got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Nigeria, y'all. We are rolling to the beautiful country of Nigeria. Okay, August 4th through the 13th. August 4th through the 13th. If you'll like to join us, please visit donfo.africa. Please visit donfo.africa to I'm gonna get to the comments. Please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Again, we're rolling to Nigeria, August 4th to the 13th. Please visit donfo.africa. We're also rolling to Benin Republic for the Voodoo Festival. And that is January 3rd through 12th. Please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Let me get this banner going, and let's jump into today's topic, right? Let me give this disclaimer first. I love y'all. I love all of you guys. I really do. Thank you for the support. It really means a lot. Listen, we're not going to agree on everything. Again, we are not going to agree on everything. We're not. But that's okay. That's okay. We can still work together. We can still support each other. We're not a monolith, even though Joe Biden thinks we're a monolith. Sleepy Joe. That's what he said. Even though Sleepy Joe says we're a monolith, we are not a monolith. We're really not. And I welcome differing viewpoints. You're more than welcome to come on here. If you disagree with me, that's okay. See, I knew the haters was going to show up. I knew the haters were going to show up. I knew they was lurking. I knew the haters was lurking. I knew the haters were creeping. Creep, creep, creep. Like the Easy-E song. I creep and how the Easy-E song? Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. But guys, I want to pull this video up. And it was very disturbing, this news clip. And it popped up on my timeline. And I said to myself, with this going on, what I'm about to show you, Again, what I'm about to show you, you want to tell me, and shout out to College Genesis in the chat room. You want to tell me with deadly clowns on the loose in the community, deadly clowns on the loose in the community, that we are supposed to worry about Project 2025. And I'm going to give my thoughts on Project 2025, on how these people who are pushing this are disingenuous because the dog they had in the fight is pretty much a dead dog. The person they put their money on, the horse that they betted on, has 2 broken legs, is out of shape, and is pretty much done. You betted on the wrong horse. He embarrassed you a couple Thursdays ago. You've lost confidence from your supporters. And now in order to scare people into voting for this guy, you got to use which works best, which is fear-mongering, propaganda, inducing fear. We call it fear, uncertainty, and doubt. FUD. So that's what they're doing now with this whole Project 2025. But I said this story, now I'm about to show you guys, this came on my timeline. And I just said to myself, with this going on, why are we worried about Project 2025 when we have deadly clowns like this? Roll the clip.
Of overpaying for rent? What if we told you that you could live somewhere?
No. As far
And now at 6, we're following new developments in the investigation of a Fort Lauderdale elderly couple murdered in their own home. Detectives located a stolen car and the man who allegedly took it. But as CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor found out, an arrest warrant is revealing more details.
A granddaughter of the murder couple is mentioned in the arrest warrant document. She was interviewed by investigators around the time the man accused of stealing the car was arrested. Apparently, they knew each other very well. 89-year-old Major Melvin and 82-year-old Claudette Melvin were shot to death at their home in Melrose Park back in March 22, 2024. According to Fort Lauderdale police, 30-year-old Maurice Anthony Newson stole the couple's vehicle hours after the crime.
So when you have deadly clowns who are stealing cars within our community, when you have deadly clowns who are robbing, stealing, murdering, like this guy, an 82-year-old and 89-year-old, and you want to distract us with Project 2025? Yeah, this is not a peaceful clown. This is a deadly clown. This is you want us to focus on Project 2025?
After the crime. Had you heard from this subject before?
no. As far as this perpetrator, right now, we're just working with the detective.
Fort Lauderdale police released a 23 pages arrest warrant of Newson, where they included interviews with a couple's granddaughter, which the detective does not reveal the woman's identity, but wrote, during the interview, she changed her answers on questions she was previously asked, who was in line to receive the grandparents' house upon their passing. In previous interviews, she stated that she and her mother would be the sole heirs of the residence. In this interview, she stated she was never next in line to receive her grandparents' home. On page 20, detectives addressed the suspect with the same woman and wrote, She provided a photograph of Maurice Newsom Jr. She stated that they had been in a romantic relationship in the past. She provided that Maurice came to the residence following the homicide.
This is the first time you're hearing about this man?
Right now, I can't totally answer that question. What is happening is it's an ongoing investigation, and we're not sure where we are with making an arrest, but we're just hoping and praying that the evidence will lead to this person that took our parents away.
Mitchell tells me since March 22nd, the family has not been able to rest. Maurice Newsom has been out on bond since last May. Today, police are urging the public, if anybody has any information on this case, it is crucial that you contact Crime Stoppers of Broward. Remember, your identity can remain anonymous. We are in Fort Lauderdale. Ivan Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
Tara.
So you want to tell me that Project 25 is the problem and to focus on that when we got this going on? Which leads me to Project 2025. It's very weird. Like, let me put my tinfoil kufi on, y'all. I got on a tinfoil kufi, okay? Again, I got on a tinfoil kufi. All right. Now, this Project 2025 has been out for a year or two now. If it was really that detrimental and diabolical, why didn't Sleepy Joe Biden and the rest of the Democratic Party, why didn't they bring it up and make it such a urgent topic? Why is it coming to the forefront now? Why is it coming to the forefront now? I want to know why. I want answers. Because Sleepy Joe didn't mention it at the debate a couple Thursdays ago. Again, Sleepy Joe didn't mention it at the debate a couple days ago. Yeah, Crime Bill Joe. Crime Bill Joe. You know, the crime bill, you know, systematic racism. It's systematic racism. The minute Sleepy Joe is the Democratic nominee for president, all of a sudden, the crime bill is an example of systematic racism. Y'all want to walk it back now. You guys want to walk it back. Oh, well, we needed it. There was so much crime in the Black community. We needed it. But hold on. Before then, it was an example of systematic racism. That's what you guys told me. I was told it was wrong that Pookie and Ray Ray, they had crack, man. They just had some crack in their pocket, man. They just had crack in their pocket and they got 25 to life. But Brett, he had cocaine and he gets a slap on the wrist. That is systematic racism. That's what I was told. Then Sleepy Joe becomes the nominee. And now all of a sudden, it wasn't that bad. All of a sudden, it wasn't that bad. Let me get back to Project 2025. Tinfoil Kufion. So they don't bring up this 2025, Project 2025, till after the debate. Why did they bring it up after the debate? Because Sleepy Joe was doing what Sleepy Joe does and what Sleepy Joe has been doing for the past 4 years. That's why we call the guy Sleepy Joe. He didn't know if he was coming or going. He didn't know where he was at. He couldn't get his word. And I'm not making fun of the guy. But the Democratic Party, all my team vote blue, no matter who, has been lying to you guys for the past 4 years in regards to his condition. And you guys just let that slide. Team vote blue no matter who. Team, we gonna hold them accountable. We gonna hold it. No, you're not. And you didn't. They lied to you guys, covered up. For the past 4 years, this guy's condition. And it finally came to a head a couple Thursdays ago. The guy's losing all types of support. The $1 billion donors are like, we're not supporting this guy. It looked bad, man. It was bad. So they said, you know what? We can't lose the support. We got to think of something. Oh, remember that Project 2025 agenda? Yeah, let's scare people with that. Let's scare these people with that. Because again, where was all of this paranoia about Project 2025 before the debate? If it was that bad, if Project 2025 was that bad, why didn't they bring it up at the debate? Knuckle Up 99, thank you for being part of the 102 people in here. I appreciate you. Hold on, let me put this up here. Thank you, Knuckle Up 99. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much for being part of that 106 now. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But it doesn't make any sense. So the only reason why they're bringing it up now is because they know they lost and they have to scare you guys into voting for Sleepy Joe. That's why. That's why. And they got black folks just scared out of their mind. Not all black folks, but they got a lot of black folks just scared and panicking. I don't know why black people just feed off of fear and paranoia. Philip, Biden said he's tripling down. But who's next to like Kamala? Kamala will get blown out worse than Hillary Clinton. Mark my words. Links in the chat room. Yeah, everybody wants Joe Biden to drop. Joe Biden said he ain't going nowhere. Yeah, the donors turned on him, but he said he ain't going nowhere. Sleepy Joe said he ain't going. Sleepy Joe said he's standing 10 toes down, and I want him to. But it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Sleepy Joe. Doesn't matter if it's Kamala Harris. Y'all getting smoked. The left is getting smoked this election. And they're just throwing darts, seeing what sticks. So they're seeing it is Project 2025 sticks. That's all. Go ahead, Philip.
What's happening, Dennis?
What's up, Philip?
It's good stuff, man. And you know, it's a good topic because it actually kind of plays to what your channel has been saying, which is everybody needs an Africa plan.
Hey, Philip, let me address this. What part of Pan-Africanism is voting Republican? Let's see here. Martin Delaney, Booker T. Washington. I'll find a list of other Pan-Africans that voted Republican for you, Don. No problem. Go ahead, Philip.
I don't know. I
got another one. Sorry, Philip. Sorry to cut you off. Frederick. Now, I don't know if Frederick Douglass would be considered a Republican, but Frederick Douglass. Go ahead, Philip.
Arguably, but I don't delve on that too much. Both parties support the carceral state, and that for people that haven't been paying attention, I guess the Project 2025 is some sort of wake-up call. But on your channel and others, that we've been talking about the crime situation for some time. In fact, you brought it up multiple times, right?
Right.
So, I think that they're both problems, but with regards to like, particularly like South Florida, man, if you go down there, the kind of crime that's committed there is, like you saw, just stunning in terms of the, kind of depravity of it, and just kind of bottom of the barrel kind of crime. So, I think that you raise a good point about, what is the bigger threat? These programs that are massive and national, or the kind of day-to-day lack of just basic, civility. So I don't know. What did you determine is the
I think that we have bigger issues within the community than to be freaked out over Project 2025, if you ask me. But Philip, I looked at the list, right? So number one, Donald Trump has distanced himself from Project 25. And if you go on his website, he has Agenda 47, which
I don't.
we should
Okay.
be focusing on. Right. But
Okay.
even with Project 2025, I mean, you're a lawyer. There's no fault divorce. That's I'll take who doesn't want the ending of no fault divorce. I mean, you're a lawyer. What do you think?
Well, I mean, from my standpoint, the bigger issue with the divorces is that there's a negative incentive to the court structure and system to make money off of divorce. So whether it's no fault or not no fault, the issue is really that in many of these court systems, the whole system is being paid for by criminality and divorces and child support. So it's a negative incentive to marriage, if that makes any sense. In the sense that in many cases, it contributes to the pensions of the judges and the structure. So you are basically, you have a system that wants divorce, conflict, and child support. That I think is a problem. I don't know what you think.
No, I agree. But Phil, you brought up Trump. I mean, I'm sorry, not Trump. Biden stepping down. He said today that he's tripling down. I ain't going nowhere. What do you?
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead. You were talking.
No, well,
you were talking.
There were several donors, major donors, who were like, "We're not giving you any more money." But he's saying he ain't going nowhere. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's done because the Democrats leaked over the weekend polling that shows that Biden remaining on the ticket is affecting down ballot races, so congressional races, and that let's go back to the frame of this, which is basically Congress people are put in office to serve, unfortunately, the special interests that help keep them there. So, someone who's put millions into a senator or a congressman, depending on what their economic interest is, they're not going to let that guy get removed because Biden refuses to step down. They'll just phase him out, and what was the guy? It has to do.
But how does phasing out look when we're like 3 months? But hold on, let's see, you're like 4 months away from the election. How does that look?
It's going to probably be Kamala because you're going to have ballot challenges to try to put somebody else on the ballot. So it will probably be Kamala, and what it'll look like is Biden and his family will come out and give a resignation saying that he needs to spend more time with his family. His health is of utmost importance, et cetera, et cetera. Because of the money dictates who's going to be there, and they're not going to allow all of these people. Like basically, if you leave it as it is, what will happen is you'll have a Trump presidency, and then he'll have a mandate with a majority in Congress if you leave Biden at the top of the ticket. And I doubt the Democrats are willing to do that. Now, on some level, it doesn't matter because most of their agenda agrees with the GOP agenda. So it's not like they won't be able to fundraise if they lose. But there are certain Congress people that are put in place for certain interests, and they're not going to risk those people being removed because Biden, is stubborn. That I don't think, but I could be wrong.
Dynast, to touch on what Philippe said, it's very important to also discuss that the convention in Chicago is 4-6 weeks away, if not sooner.
Like 6, it's in August sometime.
Okay, so we're coming at that time. And also, it's always, when it comes to the Democrat, to everyone on this panel, the Democrats do not win unless Black people get up, get out, and vote. Black America, 90%, and of course, also the immigrants, everyone who's here who is a United States citizen, if you do not vote Democrat, if that critical mass does not come out and vote, the Democrats will not win. And this is, without a doubt, this is the past 40, 50 years. I knew that Hillary was not going to win in 2016 because I knew Black people were not going to come out and vote for her. Everyone was surprised that Trump was win. Keep in mind, Philippe and Dynast, that there was no push, there was no reach out to Black America in 2016. Hillary's campaign just assumed Black people were going to come out and vote for her. I guess because of the legacy of Bill Clinton, and Black folk love Bill Clinton. So there was no appropriate, respectful reach out to incentivize Black people to vote. And of course, Trump won. So that goes on Hillary's campaign. The Democrats have learned their lesson.
Did you predict that Trump was going to lose in 2020?
Dynast, if I tell you how I knew, you will crack up.
Go ahead, tell me.
Dynast, I'm a villager. I'm born in the village. And when I saw Kamala Harris's, her mother's family in India, the villagers, they had a 24-hour prayer session. 24, and they were, by that time, they already had done this for 30 days. So people were rotating out in the village, praying for Kamala to win. I saw that, Dennis, I kid you not. When I saw that, I knew it's over. I knew he was not going to win. You cannot downplay the power of the villagers. Everyone who's Nigerian, Igbo people, I'm telling you.
What made Trump lose?
Yoruba people, I'm telling the truth. You cannot discount the villagers. If they are praying for Kamala, that means Trump has to lose. However, Dynast, I do believe that it was God who sent Trump to Florida, because I don't believe he lost 2020. I'll just stop right there. I don't want to talk more, and because I know you're live.
So what do you predict? I'm gonna pass it to T. Khalid. What do you predict for 2024?
2024, Dynast, already Trump was ahead in the polls before the debate. Furthermore, there has been a push towards the right because the Democrats, I don't want to say liberals, I just want to say the Democrat Party has been just some of this policy, and I don't want to go too much in depth, but it's so far left. And I do believe so much of it is so dangerous that people are now pushing to the right. Look what's happening right now in sports. You already have white women who are very angry at the Democrat Party because you cannot infiltrate when it comes to white American women and their sports. Swimming, this is very important to them. And it's really American European sport. Having that man come in, they're not going to tolerate that. So you have that to mark with. When it comes to the situation with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, it was pushed to the states. We all know that. I know that many people, many Democrats, they're coming at this result like it's the end of the world. I'm not seeing that pushback. I truly am not, because at the end of the day, it's the states, and also, you're a woman, et cetera, take care of your body, make better choices. But when it comes to Trump, in and of itself. Remember, this is not 2020 because now we have Biden's record. And when we look at Biden's record from 2020 until now, number one, people already knew or have been talking that there has been some issues with Biden. Like these are words that we've all been talking about it. It's mainstream media, Dynast, that's been pushing back on it until the debate. And the only reason why we're now hearing CNN, CNN mainly, MSNBC, the fact that they are now really pushing or wanting Biden to drop, like David Axelrod, is because of kind of what you and Philippe are discussing, the money. The donors do not want Biden because of what Philippe said. It's going to jeopardize down ballot. So many donors appear to have gone ahead and let go of the executive. They've accepted that, okay, Trump's probably going to win, because even David Axelrod said it the other day. Trump has been ahead in these polls. And not only that, Dynast, I don't know, like I said, Black people are the swing vote. We have swing states, but Black people are the swing vote because Black people make up the major cities. 90% of the Black population lives in like 10 cities.
Right.
So if they do not go out and vote, Democrats will not win. So they're like, okay, we have to take the executive as a wash, focus on the legislate, and try to push them in. Because Dynast, think about this. Wisconsin is now up. They're saying Trump is ahead in Wisconsin, Trump ahead in Michigan, Trump ahead in Pennsylvania, Trump ahead in Virginia. These states, not only are these Black, because Virginia DMV, not only these states, Biden cannot lose not one. And right now, even in the most pro-Democrat poll, it's like Trump is still ahead, like up 1%, even with the margin of error, or he's dead tie. And we're 4 months out of the vote. Back in 2020, they were saying that Biden was ahead, I think like 6 points in either Michigan or Wisconsin. So this time back in 2020, Biden was already in a clear head when it comes to Wisconsin, Michigan, PA, and the DMV, Virginia.
Let me ask you one last question. Do you think Biden's going to drop out? I'm going to pass it to T. Khalid.
Do I think? I don't think he's going to drop out because Dynast, they're saying that it's Hunter and Jill and that they're the ones who are holding tight and they do not want to leave. Biden has already gone ahead, fired many of his top advisors, and he's only listening to family. He doesn't want to listen to anybody else. So he's being very defiant. So it's right now, notice Trump is quiet. Have you not seen that? There's only that one footage of Trump in the golf cart when he was with his son.
It was funny as hell.
It was funny. Oh my God. Trump, he's back to being Trump. Also, Dynast, if you notice in the debate, look how subdued Trump was. Trump knows what's going on with Biden, but Trump still gave Biden grace as much as Trump can do because he knows what's going on with Biden. He's not saying anything, but they know that there is something wrong with Biden. It's not Biden's age. Biden is just having serious cognitive issues. We all know that. He doesn't want to leave. Well, it's not even so much him, it's his family. And they are going to, all we know right now, Dynast, is what's going to happen at their convention in Chicago. Because remember, there's always that possibility that the delegates, which I think numbers about 3,000, remember the delegates are free to vote for whoever they want. It depends on each state. Each state has their own laws as to how the delegates have to move. But let's think about it. We cannot undermine the power of the DNC. They are all lockstep when it comes to wanting Biden out. So Biden's like in an island on his own with his family. And then everybody else, including Obama, they're saying that Obama basically has been running the White House. Basically.
I believe that.
That is, and they've been saying that it's Obama's third term. There are so many video footage, even before the debate, Dynast, where Obama was literally holding Biden's hand and arm and escorting him off the stage. You can find that online.
Yeah, I've seen it. Let me pass it to T. Khalid. Go ahead, T.
Thanks, Dynast. Thank you, Philippe.
Yeah, man. When it comes to Black people, man, we have to see it in order to believe it, man. Because there are a lot of Black people who are like, they will vote for Biden even if they roll him out in a wheelchair or if he's in ashes because they don't want Trump to win. So when it comes to our people, I don't know, and I cannot think we shouldn't also be so naive. Even though the polls say Trump is going to win, I, I'm not going to talk too much in election integrity, but I don't trust our system enough that they may be fair to Trump, because with the inception of Trump, we have to understand a lot of things is going to be put to an end. Closing that border stops a lot of special interests, a lot of big business, putting it into these wars overseas, especially that Ukraine and Russia issue, putting a ceasefire into place. A lot of special interest groups is not going to like what Trump is going to do. Putting tariffs on goods that come in America, getting us out of these stupid trade deals. So I don't trust the system. I think, if me personally, I think in order for Trump to win, I think there has to be an overwhelmingly. He's got to beat Biden so badly. I feel like if it's a close election, real close, I feel like Trump is going to lose. It's got to be such an overwhelming beatdown that whatever play the powers that be play, that Trump is going to win. And just to talk about your Project 2025 thing, man, it's crazy. A lot of black folks are now afraid of it. And to me, this only came about at the BET Awards when Taraji P. Henson brought up, this woman doesn't know anything about politics. She was still saying Jussie Smollett is innocent, despite all the evidence, despite him getting the fiction, a conviction. Taraji P. Jussie Smollett is innocent. So how is this idiot gonna know about politics in Project 2025? What happened at the BET Awards is they understood that a bunch of black folks gather there, a bunch of young black people watch it, unfortunately. So that was the perfect time to push fear-mongering tactics on black people, because the Democrats cannot come to the black community and give black people tangible policies as to why to vote for them. Instead, the way they control black people is to make black people fearful. So this is why they talk about this is why Project 2025 is talked about. And just think of the name, Dynas, like Project 2025. It's something about that sounds sinister. So these things are designed to scare black people. They're going to put y'all back in chains and things of that nature. When it comes to Biden dropping out, man, to me, for the time being, he does sound really defiant. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Donis. You want to be straight up. I think it's good that he doesn't drop out for Trump, because
I think Kamala does worse, if you ask me.
Yeah. The only thing is just I don't, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm rude or anything, but I just don't trust that the American public is that intelligent enough to see through media manipulation. I still feel like a lot of the public is asleep at the wheel. So I feel like even if they push out Kamala, I feel like if she's more coherent than Biden, people will rather hold their nose and vote for Kamala than over Biden, in my opinion. I just feel like when it comes to Trump, because they demonized him so much, people who don't want to vote for Trump is literally, in my opinion, not due to his policies. It's just due to the man that he is. They don't like his personality, and a lot of that is driven by the media. So to me, I think if Biden stays in, no matter how defined he is, I think this is the best case scenario for Trump. And to be honest, I think Trump was very intelligent dropping that video about him talking about Biden dropping out, because Biden's ego is so big. He sees Trump talking crap about him, he's gonna want to stay in. And yeah, because Gavin Newsom, even though Gavin Newsom is destroying California, I don't think the American public is just that intelligent enough to look at California, correlate that with Gavin Newsom policies, and see that that is going to affect the whole United States. I just think they're going to say, oh, he is younger than Biden, he looks better than Biden, he talks better than Biden, and he's not Trump. I'm going to vote for Gavin.
All right, go ahead, Carla.
Yeah, thank you, Philip. You get that? He said what I was just about to say. When we was talking in the chat. It's fear mongering. First of all, any intelligent person knows if you're gonna have a project that came out of nowhere on the BET Award, right? If anything is planned to hurt black people, I can even say if it was Project 2035, give it 10 years. So you tell me by next year we're all doomed. We're gonna be put back in chains. We're gonna be. This is what I'm talking about. Hey, Philip, you're a lawyer. Come on. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. This stupid stuff that, this playing that black people's ignorance and fear and stupidity got to stop. The only reason why we have the black people in the Democratic Party right now is because in the late 50s, the misfits and the losers in the white America, the communists, right? The children of broken homes and everything like that, who didn't have anything in American society, who were jealous of the white people who had money and power and privilege, who built the country, right? Said, so how do we get power? First of all, we got to discredit America. We got to discredit America. We have our own beef with America. Black America has their own beef with America. But you have malcontent white people, right, who hijack our legitimate beef with America for their own benefit. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for a white person to hate America the way they do. America's giving them anything. All they do is be white. Time and time has proven that. Jane Fonda talked against the Vietnam War when she was forgiven, given a television show and everything like that. Black people, you fall out with them when you're done forever. You know what I'm saying? Look what they did to OJ. You know what I'm saying? So Michael Jackson, you fall out with them, that's it. White people are giving chance after chance after chance. That's the forgiveness of America, right? So I resent the fact that when these people come around talking about we gotta fight the common enemy, the orange man, together because we're all oppressed now. We're part of this oppressed group of people. That's a bunch of nonsense. And they said, look, how do we gain power? They said we gain the confidence of the blacks and the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans and everybody else. That's where the power base. Those are the foot soldiers, you know. And who benefits from this, right? Usually the Jews, the homosexuals, the LGBTQ, the people who live deviant lifestyle, people who don't believe in things like marriage and stuff like that. Just people who just are grifters and stuff like that. So there's always the grifters didn't start with Tariq Nasheed. That's another thing I like. It didn't start with Umar Johnson. Do you know how many white people are just grifters? Whole communities are grifters. Whole communities are hucksters and race hustlers and stuff like that. That's what America was. Even Benjamin Franklin talked about that. We can't have a bunch of con men, grifters, and demagogues and all this stuff like this and everything. Because the bottom line, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. And that's what happens when you have an idle mind. Somebody's gonna come and stir your head up and tell you, "Oh, you gotta be worried about this." And we talk like diversity, equity, inclusion. That ain't about black people. That's about redefining what's a man and a woman. What's success. I mean, why do we have to have somebody? A legitimate thing is, okay, you can't discriminate against black people because those black people are gonna build families, right? What does the freaking gay male have to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion? For example, we have Pete Buttigieg, don't know what he's doing as a transportation secretary because it's time to have a gay in high positions in government. This is what I'm talking about. And they use black people's struggle as part of civil rights and everything like that, the fear monger and everything. And this Project 2025 is just another fear mongering thing for other people who's going to actually reap benefits that they couldn't get on their own. Besides using the black people, like this, black people still have grievances with America, right? But everybody else comes in and hijacks our grievances and and ride through on our backs. Illegal immigration. What do they have to do with this? Project 2025 said, look, we're going to stop illegal immigration. Why am I against that? Why in the world would I be against that? We're going to close the border. Why would I be against that? Men can't play women's sports. Why would I be against that? How did we get lumped into all these categories with all these weirdos and everything like this? So we're not even allowed to ask the question. All you need to do is when somebody says Project 25, you're supposed to have your eyes bug out of your head like a coon and say, load it. We got to stop that Project 2025, whatnot, That's all you need to do. That's all they expect from you, to be just a bug-eyed coon, talk about Lord and live in fear all the time, And this is 2024, and I have not seen the mentality of the black race improve. We're regressing. We're regressing. We were much stronger. I remember back in the
Hey,
80s.
hey, Colin, let me 30 more seconds. I got pass. I'm gonna pass it to Monte. 30 more seconds.
Okay, check this out. 30 more, check this out. Back in the 80s, Black America was fearless. You know, we took on apartheid South Africa, brought down South African business, didn't let them land their planes in our cities that we dominated. We made their life hell in America. So the apartheid government eventually collapsed when they came to the negotiating table. You know, that's the Black America I remember. You know, this scary ass Negro stuff right now. I don't recognize it. You know, and I'll yield.
Monte, go ahead.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of paying attention to this conversation overall. I kind of just ran into this channel just now, and I was just listening to the previous brother and this brother here. So that's how I found this channel. So to me, when it comes to this Democrat thing, it's like it could be something else. I'm not scared of the 2025, all that crap, whatever. They already doing the shit to us anyway. So so it's like they put this dude Biden up there. It could be done on purpose, or it could be somebody else. I wouldn't put past any funny style stuff they do in this country in front of our face. Shoot, after 9/11. But yeah, it could be a whole misdirection on what they doing to us. Got us talking, got us going for something to agree with, and then flip the mode once they get it popping. So that's about all I had to say, man. I'll drop back down and listen.
All right,
Hey, I just gotta.
go ahead,
Hey,
Chief.
you know what I find? You know what's sad about this, especially when it comes to Black people, is that this has got to be the most pivotal election. Like if you just sit back and look, if you're not from America, and you sit back and look and you see how hard the left and right is fighting for power, and like the previous sister said, the Black vote is the swing vote. Why the heck is our people not leveraging, using this desperation of the Democrats to win and the Republicans, but mostly the Democrats because they're trying to jail their opponent? Why don't we use this to get what we want? Like as a collective, we
Because
can easily, I mean, we can.
there's no collective what we want. Ice Cube put out the Platinum Plan, and black people, because of Cable Trump, rejected it. So we're not serious. Dennis will tell you, I said we're not serious about not being serious. There's no collective us. Everybody got their hand out. Everybody got their little grift on and whatnot. There's no us. And nobody speaks for us. White America has never invested in the black political, social thing that they could actually talk to, so we have one voice or whatever like that. They're not serious about that. That's why nothing ever gets done. There's no serious black leadership.
No, there's not, and it's sad because you hear us talk about reparations. This is the
That's not
best time to like put reparations on the table for the Democrats. Like, hey, give us reparations, or y'all gonna watch Trump win. I mean, it's like it's this type of desperation only comes in once in like 100 years or something. Because I've never seen a presidential election this pivotal before. Like the whole world is watching. Like the psyop. Like liberals are prosecuting. Like they're using lawfare. It's so desperate to win. You got the government going to Twitter and social media platforms telling them to silence certain people on social media. We can see the censorship regime getting out of control, silencing people. This is serious. And you got black folks, we need a vote for the Democrats to save democracy. It's like, but what are you going to get out of it? Are you going to just vote for the Democrats and then complain for the next 100 years? It's just fascinating to me to watch because I feel like any other group will leverage their vote, seeing something as serious as this election coming up.
Axelrod Obama, go ahead.
If Dine asked, I like when we're looking right now, focusing on the vote, we do know there are a number of, I just have to bring up when we're looking at Michigan, Detroit, Minneapolis, Wisconsin, of course, Milwaukee. I do wonder, especially if anyone in the chat, what is the sentiment right now when it comes to Biden? Because if you notice, Dynast, Biden is really pushing hard towards, have you not noticed, Black people? He was just out of Black America. He was just, well, Black American
Yeah,
Church.
he would no. He just walked past this video of him ignoring a
Welcome
black
a
woman
Black woman
trying
to
to
hug
hug
a
him.
white woman. Yeah, that's on camera, Dynast, if you haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah. But I guess he attempted to redeem himself by going to the Black church. And Dinah, even at the church, Biden looked really, he looked very off. He looked really.
When has he looked like he was actually there? I saw the video of him at the church. In fact, let me pull up the video. But guys, hit the like button again, please. Please hit that like button, please.
Man, the elder Black folks failed us so badly, man. It's so sad, man. It's I'm not trying to be rude, but it's like they got to disappear, man.
But why? Why, man? I love my elders, but why?
Yeah.
I can.
No, hey, yo, me too, man.
Well, can I suggest something here that what went on with the older people was that they accepted jobs,
unions,
and access
Unionized
to
jobs.
the larger economy, which was really a big part of what civil rights was about. You had an economic elite within Blacks during segregation that couldn't scale their businesses because they didn't have access to federal institutions. So they were paying taxes, but they didn't have the capitalization that they wanted. So what they wanted was to be able to integrate into the larger economy without necessarily sharing that with the larger Black group, which was unskilled labor. And so what has come out of that is that you have a very small elite group of Blacks that are integrated into white money, and the larger, 70, 80% of Blacks that are skilled and unskilled labor that basically are competing against the lower classes of the country. And that was really where it went wrong.
Philip, if I might share some news with yourself and the panel. So we had to take into account when we're looking at the 60s and 70s, touching on what you said, Philippe, we're now looking at more unionized labor. And then, so everything you're saying is correct. And this is, of course, the boomers who were, teenagers, young adults in the 60s. The boomers who saw what happened to JFK, who witnessed, of course, LBJ's administration. And then, in 68, they saw Nixon. In the 70s, there was some difficulty with Carter. But
hey, but one second, hey, Kyla, there's a lot of feedback, background noise. That's why I muted you.
Okay.
There was some difficulty with Carter, but there was still that slow but sure growth of Black America to what would then become known in the 80s, like the solid Black middle class. So there was a lot of economic boom. We all know this, financialization. Like we're seeing like the true beginning of financial products. Philippe, I'm sure you're quite familiar with that. They're like the yuppie, the 80s. And so there were definitely Black people in finance, definitely Black people at the NYSC. And we also had middle class. So unionized Black people, mainly the auto plant, the UAW, Detroit, the UAW. Flint was still pretty solid of a city, was still going well. Flint, Michigan was actually voted the best city in America in like the late 50s. And so Flint was still a good city.
Can I throw something to support your point? Just
yes,
because I think it's important to underscore what you just said. There are basically two factors of what makes a Black middle class person. You need one of these two things. If you have multiple of it, then you're even deeper into the middle class. You need either one grandparent that served in World War II and was able to access the GI Bill.
Yes.
And go to a HBCU, or you need one grandparent that was a trade unionist. almost every black person, a black American that's in the country, that's middle class, has at least one of those. If you have more than one, then you're more deeply embedded into the black middle class. If you don't have any of those things, then you're likely not part of the middle class. You're probably part of the working class.
And also, Philippe, if I may add to what you just said, so Dynas, I had something I was about to say. Dynas, it's so basically a veteran military background, those who come from the unions, and also if you had a parent or at least one parent who graduated college in the 70s. So if you have that three, one of those three, or at least all three, you then have those resources moving into the 80s. But there's something that has to be thrown in, Philippe, Dynas. We have to bring up the devastation that crack cocaine brought to Black America. Because that late 80s, the height of the crack cocaine, I was told in like the Northeast, the height was like 91. And when you look at the height of the crack cocaine, then there comes Joe Biden's crime bill. And what a lot of people don't know, the Black churches have a very, and of course, I would never blame the Black churches for this because the crime was so rampant. And of course, the Black churches have to get involved because they're the ones caring for these victims. The Black churches really did petition to have something done because the crime was just so rampant. Hence, we had to bring it up, Joe Biden's crime bill. People bring up Joe Biden, but that crime bill did not just come out of a void or a vacuum. There's deep reasoning for that. And when we have to bring up how devastating crack cocaine was. So when we're looking at the late 80s, 90s, Dynas, that's millennials. If you're born
can I throw something to underscore what you just said there?
So let me do this. I think Kyla had a question, then I'll pass it back to you, then I'll pass it to Bantu. Go ahead, Kyla.
Okay. The question I wanted to ask was, given all that, right? Given all that, what you just said about the GI Bill and the trade union bill, when there was a solid Black working class in this country at one time on that, why does it seem like it's necessary for Black intellectuals to veer off to telling us that we have to join the leftist cause? The leftist cause, right, is saying that America on the whole is irredeemable. The system has to be destroyed. There's any evidence that socialism, communism, anything like that, or controlled economy or controlled social order has ever benefited Black people? Or we benefited by, we just took so like I said, sometimes it's just luck. You could be in the right place at the right time, come across the right job, the right opportunity, and then next thing you know, the Black people who are winning, congregating in neighborhoods, and they had communities built. You know, unplanned, no nothing. Okay, that's what I think we had in Black America, just communities that were just...
Can I answer you, Colin?
Yeah.
Can I answer you? So it's from a fundamental confusion about how our system works among Black people. And that is this. There's a predisposition of Black people towards expansion of the Constitution, which means the original Constitution did not include Africans. And so if your position is, I'm not saying you, let me put it in a third person so you know I'm not talking to you directly, Colin. If a person's position is, I want the Constitution as it was originally intended, and I want the original meanings of that Constitution, which we have 6 Supreme Court justices right now on the court that support that. They're called originalist justices. That excludes Africans.
No, wait a minute. Now, hold on, Philip. Are they saying the interpretation of the framers of the Constitution, which I agree with? You know, I agree with it. I do believe the framers believe that there was such thing as God. The framers really is actual a man and a woman. And the Bible.
I'm not debating.
Let me say this, Philip. Right?
Okay.
I do believe the framers defined the United States by borders. You know, by sovereignty and borders. And there's some people who basically, if you get rid of that ideology, then anybody could be an American. There's no such thing as a citizen. I think the framers of the Constitution said people can be a citizen. And what people are doing is confusing Black people, saying, see, if you go back to the originalists, you weren't a citizen. You Black people were slaves and everything. I don't think that's what they're talking. No intelligent. Are you gonna tell me John Roberts and all them want to put us back in the chains? Come on. Come on, Phil.
Kyla,
I
let
know
me
you're more intelligent.
let me clarify this, because I understand what you're saying. I don't think that that's what the argument is.
But that's what they
And,
use. You know,
wait.
and I know they say
Hold on.
certain buzzwords to black people to get us riled up. And oh yeah, see, they're trying to go back to the original Constitution. We're gonna be saved and everything. Come on, Philip. I've been at this too long. You
Hold
know,
on,
I
Kyla.
know.
This is something very simple. I don't want to make it more complicated, and I'll tell you why I think what I think. Okay, so the first frame that you got to go through, and I got this because I went to school in the UK and studied with the barristers when I was in law school. And the first frame is the United States was founded by problematic people from the UK, the Puritans. And what the issue was that George III and the kings before him were setting forth a set of taxes, and the Puritans refused to pay them. And they had a bad habit of going into the town square and setting themselves on fire and breaking in the churches and taking the gold and all this other stuff. So the king came up with a process for them to be, they were like the serfs and the artisans in the feudal system they had in England. Okay. So what they came up with was a system in the New World where they would move up a class. So if they were a serf in the UK, now they can be a craftsman or a lord in the United States. Okay. So when they drafted the Constitution, what they were trying to put into that Constitution was the protections that they didn't have in England for the king to remove them and take their rights. That's what they were trying to do. Now, that had nothing to do with the Africans and the native people. The Africans and the native.
But here's the thing, though.
Hold on.
Remember something.
Hold on. Let me land, and then you can respond. That the Africans and the native people were brought in to be, well, they weren't brought in. The natives were here, but the Africans were brought in to be serfs, which was labor without land and without rights. That's what they were brought in to be. So when you talk about the original interpretation of the Constitution, and this is where I was, is that Black Africans were not included in that Constitution, period.
But at the same time, we still, even though we weren't part of the Constitution, if you study really harder, like I did, right, you'll find in places upstate New York, places like Nantucket, even places like Maine, there were Black wealthy people even during colonial times in this country, you know?
Well, but
So,
this is another issue,
yeah, I know,
Colin. This has to do with the charters. That each one of those colonies had a charter from the Parliament, and each one of those charters was different, which is why we drafted a constitution and a lot of the other countries did not, is because they needed something to normalize each of those 13 colonies where the charters conflicted.
The Constitution, the Constitution happened 12
Hey, guys, let me pass it to Bantu because he's been waiting. Go ahead, Bantu.
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to land what I was trying to get at. Can I make my point and then pass it?
Okay, yeah, but Kyle, don't interrupt him. Go ahead, Philip.
Okay, yeah. So here's the bottom line. The bottom line is that there's a confusion with the predisposition of Black people. Black people want to expand the Constitution because they're not included in the original Constitution. They're included in the second.
Kyle, let the guy land. Go ahead, Philip.
Jeez, that they're not included until the second Constitution, the one that comes after the Civil War. And so where the confusion happens is the want to be included with the two political parties. They're two separate things. So one party holds itself out as expanding the Constitution. That would be the Democrats. Now, they don't actually, but they hold themselves out in their branding as if they do. The other party clearly says, we want the original intent of the Constitution. What is the reality is neither party is really for that expansion because it messes up the economic system. So I'll leave it there.
All right,
Okay,
go
let
ahead,
me ask you a
Bantu.
question.
Go ahead,
With
Bantu.
that point, let me ask that.
Kyle, I gotta pass it to Bantu. I'm gonna pass it to Bantu. Hold on, go ahead, Bantu.
Well, hello, everybody. I was just listening. I don't really know much about the 25 project. I know it's a 900 pages. I haven't read it all, so I'm just chiming in and listening.
Okay,
That's
all right,
all.
all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right,
Let
go
me
ahead.
let me finish answer what Phil was saying. You know, not that in all due respect, Phil. The bottom line is most black people believe in the Republican Party. Why? Because they believed in the principles of America, right? The Democratic Party believes in the populism of America, right? We didn't trust populism. Now there's a reverse thing. Where if you look at American history, and black people say, okay, let's go to be a populist party, which is Democrats. Now the populist party is now interpreted as the party of Hollywood, the party of the left, the party of all the elites and everything like that. You see what I mean? Before, the Democrats used to be the Dixiecrats, and the populist party, the rednecks, the racists, everything. The Republicans are a party of the institutions. And we put our faith in the institutions of America, you know, the Constitution and stuff like that, for better or worse. We trusted the institutions of America. That's why black people were Republicans initially after the Civil War and everything, not Democrats. We didn't trust the populist interpretation of America. You know, so the bottom line is when they come to with this hog jive talking about the Democrats will expand the thing, well, who? You know, black people have never benefited from populism in America. Black people have conservative values and everything. We don't all agree about abortion, late-term abortion. We don't all agree that on same-sex marriage. We don't all believe in all the stuff that Hollywood is pushing and everything like that. So why are we with the populist party?
Yeah, I'm going to leave this as my last point on this, and it's to support Dynas's channel. In my view, and I've said this consistently when I've come on this channel, both parties are a waste of time because the United States is a group economics country. And until Black Americans do what Dynas is trying to help us to do, which is to make the connections to the countries that we came from and to build a circular form of economics like the other groups that are in this country, then the process of participating in the political aspect of the country is kind of moot because we have no leverage against either one of the parties should they betray the promises that they've made to us. So let me give an example of what I'm talking about. Asian people, and there is a big diversity of that, but let's take the West Asians, the Indians. The Indians from 1980 until present literally built an economy circular with India in the United States. They control motels, they control quickie marts, they control corner neighborhood stores, and they built that by bringing over their various family members to work at under market wages, to own assets, to circulate that money and the hard dollars back into India. And you can just look at the various countries and what the remittances are, and you can see how this game works. Black Americans, unfortunately, have not been willing to build this game, although Dynas is trying very hard to get us there.
Yeah, well, I've been at.
Hold on, let me make my point, and then I'll let you.
I've been at this longer than Dynasty.
That
not
that
cut
the
and
political game is to get policies that benefit your economic circular economy. So, for example, if you have assets in Sierra Leone or Senegal or Nigeria, and then you send those finished goods that are of high quality to your distribution hubs in Black American neighborhoods, then you have an economy. Then from that, you can make multinational companies. From those multinational companies, hold on. From that, then you can leverage that into the political system to make more money and to get more policy your direction. Just look at the small hat. Just look at the small hat.
That's exactly what the Asians did in Oakland. I'm sure you heard of the story with the mayor. That's exactly how her family moved. And that other family that owned
With
all
those are
of the waste
Asians, black
management.
people,
They did
Africans, and
exactly what
black
you
people
just,
don't have that
Philippe, they
have
did
in
exactly
to
what
do
you just
long term
said
projects.
now.
But
That
this is why we lose, is because we don't seem to understand how the country was set up to work. It's set up for you to work from the family forward. So your first corporation is your family, right? You need that functional. You need a man and a woman and children in the house. Those children then have to produce in a certain way to help the family with its family business. Then that family business, because in theory, the culture amongst the family should be similar with other families of that group. That's another problem we have that we can deal with. That they then come together to make a, like if you will, a pet mall of family businesses. Okay, then those family businesses get their finished goods from the supply chain from their home country.
Hey,
The
Phil,
problem is that Black Americans look to the United States as their home country, as opposed to where they actually came from, which was West Africa and Angola and Congo and whatever. And because we don't do that, we
You
don't have an
understand that Black
economy to
America,
affect the political system.
the family is in
that is
crisis.
exactly how everything has been done in this country. So touching on exactly what you said, I'm sure you're familiar. Alexander Tocqueville, he spoke exactly of what you're stating right now, Philippe. He wrote the importance of association. The United States, you come as the individual, and you, through your freedom, mainly, of course, through liberalism, you, through your own conviction, you go out and you associate with like-minded people under one collective interest. This is how white people through corporation have moved. When we look at immigrants, Asian, both East Asian and also South Indian, West Indian, this is how they move. And we're seeing now that it's been very successful for Asians because by median, they have
Sister, let me ask you a
If
question.
I may, Kala, let me finish. Kala, let me finish.
Tanubu was in the United States. How many years?
Kala, if I may finish, please. I'm almost done.
Tanubu, didn't he graduate from Chicago University? He's been in the United States for decades. He's president of a country right now. How come he doesn't have? How come he's not leading the way and building bridges between Black Americans? That's what it is. All talk.
Like I was
That's why I'm
saying,
at the point where I'm fed up.
As kind of touching on what Philippe said, Asians have done exactly what Philippe said, and
But
now
why did the Nigerians do that? They've been here for
Kala, can I
decades.
finish, please?
Because, Colin, we missed our window. Our window was in the 70s.
No. We got
Yes,
people that
the window of our greatest power was in the 70s. That when we had the union job.
$100,000.
But I said this
wait. This is what went wrong. Both Nigeria and Black Americans turned inward instead of towards each other in the 70s. That was our window.
From a black college here in America, and he's the president of Nigeria, and he has no ties to the Black community.
No, dude, he also was doing a whole bunch of stuff. He's been indicted for drug dealing and a whole bunch of stuff when he was in the United States. But this is the point. The height of Black power. I just described what it takes to be in the middle class. You needed a World War II beneficiary of the GI Bill, or you need a trade unionist. When we had that power, that was 1970 to 1975. Then in 1972, Nixon allows the offshoring of factory work, which was the cornerstone of Black labor. So when that offshoring happens, what the Asians did, what the Arabs did, was they went back to their home countries and started building supply chains. What Black America did was to turn inwards and to start to go to the street Black market. That's what they did. And the Nigerians, who were tampered with by the British and the French, turned inward, and then they eventually had the Biafra situation. But if at that same moment they had reached out to each other and built the supply chain, just like the Asians and the Arabs, then it would have come to fruition now. But instead, we turned away from each other and basically disintegrated.
I'm sorry for stopping you, Philip. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
TTL Lua, go ahead, Akabo.
I have to jump in there. You have to understand when it comes to African Americans and Nigerian, there's always a block of stone. So when you were talking about the 70s, you also have to understand that Nigerians were still on the feet. You have to don't forget that we are still kind of like 63 years old to 64 years old right now. We were still under the feet of the colonizers, okay? And when the fact that when the African Americans were fighting for when they were fighting for their right within the United States, we are talking about our great grandfather trying to get free from also the hands of the colonizers, start their home businesses, etc. And that was the time that the Europeans were, when they see what was happening within us, they started to pull out. Then the Russians came in and tried to take out what they're still doing now, which is taking out the smartest of the pool and taking them to their country to train them. And they never end up coming back to Nigeria. So we still have the same kind of people, not just running the country and bringing the country downfall. We still have the same kind of we also have our intellects that also live in the country and trying to just survive. So that is what was happening in Nigeria. It's not that we were not stretching out to African Americans. It's just that we both have different problems that we were facing individually that we cannot stretch out. And just like you mentioned, that we were still under the feet of the British and the French Empire. And also we had the Russian also taking out our intellects, if you remember very well. And then we had like you said, the Biafra War came in. And that was because the Igbos were trying to break free from they were actually part of the people that started, apart from the Obafemi, etc. They were part of the people that also started the Revolutionary War, because they wanted to break away, because they refused to be part of Nigeria, because they don't believe they are part of the nation, Yoruba, Hausa, etc. Okay, I'm just gonna stop there, just to point that out so you can understand what was really going on in Nigeria.
No, you're 100% right, and I agree with that. I just, as an illustration, I believe, Dinas, your dad was going to Liberia in the 70s, right?
He was traveling all over West Africa in the 70s.
Right. So it wasn't that the Nigerians and the West Africans didn't want to reach out. It was the structures that you just described, Titola, that didn't allow them the full freedom to build their country. You know, we kind of talked about this yesterday, about the structures that were left in place to keep them in the colonial frame, whether it was the French or the British. And, you know, in Nigeria, basically, they did two sides of the same coin with Black Americans and Nigerians, because a lot of Black Americans actually come from Nigeria. But basically, in the Black American case, that they gave us a citizenship that was second class and that actually isn't participatory. In the case of Nigeria, they gave you a charter of a country where they lease your country back to you, but control the resources that are up under it. So it's essentially the same hustle, just different sides of the same thing, where either you don't control yourself because you're not a participant in the system as a full citizen, or you don't control the land you stand on because they control the resources that are up under it that give it value. It's the same problem, two sides of the same coin. So I don't necessarily blame the Nigerians. I don't necessarily blame the Black Americans. But what we didn't have was the vision to see, look, the way that the global economy works is it's circular group economics. And unless you learn to work within your group to create finished goods within your group at a market price that's below the highest price, then you cannot raise and scale your group. Now, in the case of Black Africans, they welded us in the system that they built because they needed serfs to create the value to the bottom of their system. So whatever system that we make, it has to be a hybrid of whatever they made, because their system is made to benefit them. We, unfortunately, don't want to look at what is the system and our values to benefit us apart from them. We refuse to do it. And another part of it is something that Brother O'Leary talks about all the time, which is the debt model, that they put us in debt both in the United States and in Africa in such a way where much of your resources are spent just maintaining your debt and not actually building assets. So like in the case of Nigeria, why the hell are they taking IMF loans? Why are they taking World Bank loans? Well, it's because they can skim off of them, the people at the top, but they don't need them. They have enough resources to collateralize their currency.
I'm also going to jump in that the reason why they're taking IMF, I mean, literally the VP of Sierra Leone already said, I mean, not VP, sorry, the wife of the president already said it, of Sierra Leone president. And Nigeria doesn't have a choice when it comes to the IMF. And I will also say that our current sitting minister right now that is supposedly controlling the country is really not. It's kind of a puppet for them. We all know that. And like you mentioned before, the country don't belong to us. The fact that the country don't belong to us, we are being put under this scapegoating of being forced into taking certain loans that we don't actually need. And I'll give you an example. Recently, if you guys read the news, recently, with everything going on, we have Dangote. He was trying to operate the refinery station that he had opened for more than how many years now. He wanted to start operating it, but all of a sudden, the station not only got burnt, it was being obligated. In order for him to operate the refinery, he must make a payment to the U.S. of the capital A. And in order for him to actually operate the refinery, he has to make a certain payments to them every production, if I'm not exaggerating it. Or is it every production, or is it every quarter? He must make a payment to the, that country. And that is costing not just him a problem in order to be able to produce for Nigeria, and also all of a sudden they say that they cannot sell him a block of raw oil because we don't have any more blocks left because they have supposedly sorted out, because all of a sudden, what is the name of the most popular oil company we all know about in Nigeria have bought it up, supposedly. So now, not only does he not have access to it, the refinery got burnt. And then in order for him to even operate it after the refinery is fixed, he still have to make payments to them. And we still have to get IMF in order to supposedly, quote unquote, to balance up our sheets. So just to throw that out there, and then you can have like a visual idea of what is going on. Now, when we're talking about from the inward of the I will call them the mini politicians that I am very much aware of, they are talking in the background. They are trying to figure out how to break free. It is hard. It is harder than we see on television. It is harder than we see on the news, because I'm gonna speak in my language. Prince, can you help me translate to them, please? Dynasty, help me translate to them.
Well, okay. Listen. I'm gonna try. But we have
Audrey.
We have Audrey Kimmy in the chat room as well, who speaks Yoruba.
Okay. Great.
Go ahead.
Let me use wisdom to translate in English. I'm gonna be slow.
Okay, so you said something doesn't have.
As in they don't want us.
Yeah, don't have. Yeah.
Yes. So on gbìyànjú, they are trying on gbìyànjú láti dá wa dúró, because of we are the stepping stone to building the bridge between all of us. Does that make sense?
Yes, and that's the fact.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
Free game. Go ahead, free game.
So, Dynas, what you think about Project 2025?
I think it's propaganda. Trump already disavowed it, so he has Agenda 47. Like I said, I think it's the timing of it. So Biden embarrasses himself a couple of Thursdays ago. Then 2 days later on the BET Awards, here comes Project 2025. I think it's just fear mongering to get people in line to vote.
I was hoping it was real. I was
Well,
hoping it was.
parts of it are real, but the issue is that these things have been in motion for some time. So, as Dynas is correctly identifying, to bring it out before an election is kind of shaky. But the real gaffe of it is both parties support that. Both parties have been streamlining to allow more and more things to allow you to be jailed. Okay, that both parties, because it supports the economy, particularly of small towns, and that has to do with another problem that the United States has economically, that by building jails in almost every one of the 50 states, these jails support these small towns that are basically on the outskirts of cities. So what you have is a subsidy program that is all the economy of having in a jail in your town that's being supported by a system to make sure that you have people to put in the jails. And that has existed before the announcement by Taraji P. Henson of Project 2025. And it's not, as I said in the chat, Joe Biden was one of the architects of that system. So it's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's an economic thing. And it has to do with the United States, through these two guys, if you want to look them up, called the Dulles brothers, hardwired the country into oil dependence. And so it made it a car-dependent country instead of a train-dependent country with city centers. So you have all these little towns and cities all over the country that are incredibly expensive to maintain because the only way you can access them is by car. And so you have constantly these construction projects and these various things to keep these people connected. And they take the money from the cities to pay for this. And so it's just a constant rush of this money that's being lost. Now, what you would need to do is to build a city center economy based on trains, but that would mess up our whole structure of how our economy works, both domestically and globally. So you have to come up with new systems to keep the system that we have in place, the economy we have in place. And both parties support that because they understand how the country makes money. So
let me ask you this: what you think about the part where it was saying that the abortion stuff, the abortion stuff in the welfare state? What you think about that?
Philippe, if I may answer that, is that okay?
Go for it.
In all honesty, why is it that the Black woman has to be the face or the brand when it comes to abortion? With Taraji and with Kamala, they keep hampering, like hunkering down that this is the greatest assault on freedom to Black women. It's always Black women who is the face. And they continue to do this, and they keep returning back to Project 25 or 2025. So they bring up the SCOTUS decision, and then within the same breath of the SCOTUS decision, which, by the way, Dynas, if I may share something with you, that was Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas has been wanting to overturn Roe versus Wade for like the past 20, 25 years now. This was like a joint effort between himself and Scalia. Even Ginsburg wanted to overturn Roe versus Wade. He just finally did it once he was able to have 6-3. Returning back, now that we have the SCOTUS decision, now they start pushing out Project 2025 after the SCOTUS decision. They then go direct to Black women, and they start using this language, using this brand, bringing out Kamala, bringing out Hollywood women like Kerry Washington, Taraji, to keep enforcing that they are taking away our rights and that we have to do something about it. The Black woman has to be the one to save it. They consistently do this. And if you look at Project 2025, everybody's effort around this document focuses mainly on abortion. They're not bringing up in the news, in the media, they're not really focusing on other outlines within Project 2025. It's only the abortion issue.
Actually, so one of the other outlines was ending no fault divorce. Like who would like not want that?
Well, with no, because Philippe actually touched on this when you first started your live. Because first, it's the economy. And Philippe, I mean,
Hold on 1 second, Colin. If you can roll your windows up, it's just a lot of wind in the background. Go ahead, actually. Right.
With divorce goes through family court, and Philippe excellently touched on this. The money that's being made. And although a lot of people are now, because when you look at no fault divorce, notice that they're kind of touching towards white women. What no fault divorce, that you're hearing more and more white women. I'm noticing that here in the media and also on YouTube, they are the ones who are being vocal, because with no fault divorce, first, their marriage and divorce rates are high. You know, the vast majority, you see there's matrimony within white America. And then, of course, the vast majority of these divorces are going to be mainly from white America, just from a numbers standpoint. Removing no fault divorce, that then is as if it's quote unquote infringing upon the rights of the woman. And when we're looking at marriage, no fault divorce, they're really pushing at white women.
But any no fault divorce, that's a good thing, isn't it? I mean, stopping. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a good thing for men. That's what I'm saying. Like, so why wouldn't the man not want that?
But then look at the women's side. Because you see, the SCOTUS decision is really what opened the door for Project 2025. Because from the standpoint of women, it's as if the little rights, civil rights that are available are now being eroded. And that ability to have agency within your marriage and then have agency when it comes to physical autonomy, that fear is very real, very prevalent, and very relevant. You know, it's a salient issue. So that is what I mean when you say, when the topic of your live, it's like almost like it's deflection. Well, they've been pushing Project 2025 post SCOTUS, and they're purposely bringing it towards women, Black women and white women alike, because already with some of the activity from the Democrats, especially with how the direction what's happening with LGBTQ and with like I mentioned earlier with sports, a lot of white women were very, very angry with Democrat Party and the DNC as a whole. Very angry. I personally have been seeing this. So now, kind of what you're saying, Dynas, let's use fear, the fear tactics. If they tie fear with Trump, then they attach Trump with Project 2025, then they start bringing in, the removal of your rights, women. They go to white women with no fault divorce, abortion with Black women.
I'm gonna ask.
And what does this have to do with Black people, Black men, the Black community? That's what this is what I'm talking about. Everybody was saying this since the '60s. They take these issues that are mainstream issues that don't even concern us on the whole. We got other pressing issues, right? Like crime. Diane said, crime in our community. That's the number one thing in Black America. Is crime, the root of everything in Black America. You can't talk about building no factories. You can't talk about building no stores. No, nothing. Just earlier this year, a prominent African American man, 85 years old, he should be home, was running his son's store in the hood, right? In the hood in Norfolk, right? He went out there to break up a fight and ends up dead. 85 years old, and a friggin' pillar of the community. The whole community came out and said, man, he was like a pop, man. He gave me my advice and everything like that. Yeah, but the bottom line is this: he's dead now. When are we going to start talking about that? We're going to start talking about that. The most dangerous job in Black America is being a community activist.
Can I get one more caller? One more. The population. What's the population of Nigeria? About 200 million, right?
About almost 300 million. It's like 280 now. 280 and some change.
You really serious? I thought it was only 200 million.
I thought it was more than 300.
Go ahead, free game. What's the question? Go ahead, free game.
So we done had 62 million abortions in 50 years. We supposed to be behind, not right behind Nigeria, but at least at 120 million by now. That we've been at 40 million for like 20 years. So I think that the abortions have really damaged the Black community in their population, and that right there is going to put a halt on the power that the people have. Nigerians, we may not get along. We may not get along. And Dinus, that live that you had with the women, they was getting real catty on that live. But the Nigerians, they have a lot of power because they have such big numbers.
Well, free game, if I may, that a big part is like just Nigerian and for a whole African society. Like I've heard this myself, and we've heard this with other people on the panel. Like the child is the child of the community, and it's expected for a woman to settle down. Like you get married. Like my dad, people were getting angry at my father. These villagers were getting angry at my dad for not settling and getting married, even though he was gaining success in the United States. The fact that, where's your wife? You have no wife, you have this, you have that, you have 2 cars. Okay, where's the wife? He was literally summoned back to Nigeria to settle down, get married. Like you have to have children. You can have all the material in the world, but there's an expectation that you continue the line that has existed from time immemorial. You continue now into the future. That's just typical African society. It really is. Also, if I had to mention free game, and I had to bring in the money and the numbers, there's reports now, and you can find this available online through academic and government sites, Bureau of Labor Statistics, and also the SSA.gov, Social Security Administration.gov. The Black income, like the Black median income, about 65% of all Black people, the 40 million, make less than $37,000. Even when it comes to Black people making over 87,000, it's less than 5%. And respectfully, I'm not trying to be rude. When we're looking at 87,000 and up, this 87 and moving into 6 figures, those are the numbers that are coming out of Black immigrants. We don't even have separate data with Black immigrants and Black America, because if we did, the numbers would be even more abysmal for Black America. And I had to bring this up because if we're going to discuss abortion, you had to also think from the side of a Black woman, how am I supposed to support this child? If there's no income, we look at the past 50 years, this is going to be an option. If
that's a lot of nonsense.
Cal, of course it would be to you.
That's a lot of nonsense.
What's the nonsense?
Nonsense. Talk about money and abortion, and you can't afford kids. That's what they tell women and whatnot. But the bottom line is this: you got more Black women in America who have college degrees, college educated. 2.5 million Black men make over $200,000 a year, and there's and a majority of Black male, according to the IRS statistics. I don't know where you get it from, are in the middle class.
The SSA. 65% make less than 37,000.
Well, but get this. But get this though.
Black community.
Do you know if you make if you make $30,000 a year, you're in the top 10% income earners in the world? Less than 10% of the world global population. What does that matter to the world? Talking about the United States.
Yeah, we're talking we're talking America. What is 37,000?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if the bottom line is this: if majority
it's meaningless unless you're living in El Salvador,
earn more than $5,000 a year at the most, right? And then not have mass abortions.
Of Black
$30,000, $30,000, like
40
this.
million.
Well, hold up. If you make $37,000 a year, right? If you have a husband or wife, that's $70,000 a year in a household. That's enough for a thing. Get rid of the Jordans. Get rid
of national numbers. You can't use national numbers for a varied jurisdiction. $100,000 is low income in California. It's low income in New York.
Is nothing.
It's low income in the DMV where you are.
I don't think we will say
that's
it's
low income.
Hey, Philip, let the guy. Let's pass it to Black. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Black
Jackie.
Beauty, welcome.
Hey y'all. Obviously, you know I'm here in Nigeria. Let me put on my camera. I like to be seen. Obviously, you know I'm here in Nigeria. Yeah, I've just joined the conversation because it was interesting. But I do think that to what the lady said, that is a bit of a misconception. I don't think that any of the data is driven by the income of let's say other Blacks outside of Black Americans, because the Social Security Administration would not track any data that was submitted on behalf
It
of
wouldn't
those
make
people.
a difference.
Yeah, it just logically doesn't make sense. I'm trying to explain because Social Security is only tracking people with that Social Security number. So if you have a taxpayer ID number or some kind of green card number, your statistics are separate from ours. So when they talk about Black wealth in terms of Social Security Administration, they're talking about Black African Americans, like my grandmother, like a lot of my cousins, and a lot of my family who are actually doing very well compared to
And
other
also Black immigrants.
but also but also Black immigrants. Hold on, you don't have to jump on it. I'll come with it. You don't have to jump with it. I'll come with it. Also, Black immigrants. Yes, I know a lot of Black immigrants who are doing well. I always say that I'm half Jamaican. My daddy is Jamaican. He does well, but his statistics are not being tracked by the Social Security Administration that you're citing because he doesn't have a Social Security number.
Yeah, then they're not included.
And he ain't never had a Social Security number.
No, they're not going to. They wouldn't be, they wouldn't be in track. Nor
That's what I meant.
I'm speaking specifically about those who are working W-2, who of course are having their income taxed by the employer, by the government. And
yeah, but let me ask you a question.
No, but what I'm saying to you is if you understand how, hold on, wait, Kala, hold on. If you I understand what you're saying, and that's a good point. But what I'm saying, if you understand how statistics are taken, there is a different pool of numbers and attributes that go along with your green card. A green card number is not an SSN, meaning if you're looking at the Social Security Administration for statistics, those statistics, when they say Black, they mean Black American who was born, or they could mean first generation.
Not
Nigerian,
necessarily
first
Black Beauty.
generation
If you're working if you're working on
W2 number,
Black Beauty, if you're working on Black Beauty, if you're working on W2, they're taking your taxes, including SSA. You do not have to have an you do not need to be U.S. citizen, SSN. If you have a green card, you have a Social Security number, you have a green card. So if you are working on W-2, which means they have cleared you for employment verification, they are taking Social Security out. And if you continue
considered and part of that pool, because that's not the way I understood it.
No, if you are working on W-2 in the United States, so that's going to include everybody, regardless, Black American, everyone. You're working on W-2. They are taking SSA out, period. The government.
Okay, so once they're taking SSA out, they're tracking you, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, they're tracking your income. That's where I'm getting these stats from. That's where I'm getting these stats from. And also, Dynast, well, it should probably be a subject for another day. The track record for Black people is actually trajectory down. Asians, their median income is now at 100,000.
And you know why? You know why? Because Asians live like 5 to 1 in a house. They got multiple generations living in one house. They go by household. So if you got your cousins and everything, I know this, right? Filipinos and everybody living in one household. They go by household. Black people, Black people.
So regardless
of Black people don't have
doesn't matter.
The standard of living that the Asians and the immigrants do. If you have a whole bunch of people living in one house, paying one mortgage or whatever like that,
I'm not using taxes. I'm not using I'm not quoting the IRS where that's household. I'm quoting W-2 individual.
Yeah.
You work on
but I'm saying when you
pull your
W-2 is just what you earn.
Your income.
You don't know it. The government doesn't know anything.
Why are we arguing? Why are we arguing that we're richer than we actually are?
Well, I wanted to say that, Philippe. That's another question. That's another thing I wanted to say.
W-2 is just saying how much you earn. But you got to file that to make it.
But we do this every time where we're like, we're not as poor as we say.
Yeah,
we're not as poor, and it's insane.
We're Black people not poor.
But
no,
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we can look at the cumulative. Why would we argue we're making more money? When I just broke it down to you, Kyle, every person that's in the black middle class, they either had one grandparent that benefited from the GI Bill and served in World War II, or they had one grandparent that was
Philip,
a trade unionist.
Philip, how would
If
you
you
rate?
have multiple of that, then you're multiply in the middle class. But most
Philip,
Black
how would you rate?
Americans
How would
don't
you
have
rate?
that.
How would
In the
you
middle
rate the
class?
fact that? Oh, check this out. I want to ask Philip a question. We're out here where I live at, right? A lot of the contractors out here are black, roofers, plumbers, HVAC, everything, and they're making like $300,000 a year with no real education beyond high school and trade school. Do we track them as middle class too?
Well, I think
one second,
this.
Colin, the problem is like you're in your own DMV Virginia vacuum. Like that ain't
Correct.
the case in freaking Sacramento, California.
I don't know about Sacramento, California.
That's correct, Dennis. And the other part of it is there's a big difference that Black people get confused about between salary and net worth. So if
you have people out there. What about all the black guys that own their own trucking companies and everything?
No,
They exist, man. They exist, man.
Whoa. The difference is that, and this is where we got off track with civil rights. Black people were able to increase their income through salary, through ordinary income, but we never increased our asset value. Our net worth was still at 2% there. And so this is the hoodwink. So you can look at your numbers and say, oh, I got big numbers here, but you're a pass-through entity for your debt.
Well,
Philip,
you're a lawyer, right?
You cannot pass
Colin, one mic. Go ahead, Black Beauty. Go ahead, Black Beauty.
I just want to ask Philip a question because that's exactly the point I wanted to make, how we ain't never had no money. And I wanted to say to Philip, have you ever seen any of your colleagues' bank accounts, the ones that you have the same exact title with, and you just see what is just sitting up in there net worth wise?
Exactly. This is how I know.
We make the same money, yeah. And actually, I might make about $15,000 more than you, girl. But look at her bank account.
No, this is what we know, that the people that are making the money aren't really making money because they're a pass-through for their debts. If you have a business, if you have an asset base, that asset base costs money to keep it going. And the problem is that the problem.
Black America.
Wait, Colin. Let me just give you an example of your example. You were talking about black contractors. Is there a boom in black rehab, in black housing outside of the major areas of look? If you are a wealthy person.
Philip, let me interject real quick. I'm in Atlanta. That whole buy the block, flip houses, that shit.
Oh no, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about people who just. There's a lot of black guys who are contractors. Like, let me give you an example. The guy who did my windows in my house, right? He got the contract to do the office space that I am in right now. And also, while he was out here, he picked up 3 other white people's houses out here to do their windows and everything like that. And so I don't know how else.
Wait. This is the point. I want you to get it. That he has to. Black people traditionally are not doing rehab projects on the schedule that they should to increase the asset value of their homes. And the reason why is because they don't have sitting capital like that. $20,000 for a roof, $10,000 for a boiler, $60,000 for windows. We don't do that.
Philip, the brownstone. Hold on one second. Let me just say this one part. Philip, the brownstone renovation is $120,000 starting, and the only people that work on those things in Brooklyn are Indians. They are the only ones that make brownstones.
Correct. And that is what a circular economy is that we may make income, but a lot of that income is fighting for access to the white market. It's not black money. And I've talked about this multiple times.
Well, you have to have a culture.
Wait. The difference between black money and white money. That Robert Smith is rich, but his money is white money. He's circulating in white money, as opposed to Robert Johnson, who owned BET, that BET was black money until they sold it to Viacom. So that's why Robert Johnson could go to
Robert
Liberia.
Smith is like 10 times richer
No,
than Robert Johnson.
no, what I'm trying to get at, Kala, is we are in deficit of black money from black circulation.
Let me ask you a question.
That's not a real thing.
Phil, let me ask you a question, right? Okay, let's say I agree with you, right? Shouldn't there be role models at doing this, right? How come after all these years, right? All these years, the black filmmakers and everybody haven't got together and said, "Look, we're gonna be able to finance our own projects. We're gonna be doing all this and everything. You know, everyone's gonna be part of this thing. We got so much talent and everything. We're gonna have a writers association." No, they tried to go to Tyler Perry. He does everything himself. He won't even hire people. He does
Wait,
everything himself.
can I answer
So
this? And this ties
so
back to
so
Dynas's
you
point
can't
of
hold
this
on. You
show.
can't say, "Oh, we
Wait.
can't just say,
Let
look,
me
how do we
deal.
have this
You brought up a
and we
good
have
point.
no
Let me
no
deal with
no
it.
role
Answer the
model."
question, Colin.
Wait. Kala brought up a key point. We need to deal with this. And Dynas, this is the key of your show. Both in Africa and in the diaspora, we need to deal with something. That there are black African people that benefit from the way that the system presently is, that black people don't have the circulation of money.
But what are we gonna do about that? Can I ask you
this
a real
this is the
can I ask
biggest
y'all a real
problem that
question?
nobody wants to talk about.
Oh, we all
If you
know
want to Google, if you want to Google, one of the biggest killers of black businesses was John H. Johnson of Ebony and Jet fame. It's in everybody's book about him. That guy was like Herod looking for the baby Jesus on black businesses to take them out. Now,
But Philip,
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Or ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Yes.
After you, Jackie, I got to pass it to Hustle Smart. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Jackie.
And I got to move on.
this is a conversation that I guess people don't want to be honest about, which is who is literally going to stop competing and stop being the best and stop making money for you? What black person who is in power, I will stop making them money off of Access Bank so that you can have a better banking system.
Well, you need a culture.
We have to
You
learn
need
how
a
to
culture that supports that.
ourselves. We have
But
to
I
learn how
agree
to
with you.
even within ourselves.
I agree with you, and it's because we promote amongst our culture within ourselves individualism, and that individualism then does not lead to collective uplift. It doesn't. And that's where our culture needs to be changed. It needs to be changed on the continent, and it needs to be changed in the diaspora. But we don't want to address that because we argue about how much money we have.
Well, I'm gonna get rich in Nigeria. I know what I'm doing. So
There you go. That's all. That's all I want to hear. And let me pass it to Hustle Smart. Then I got to pass it to Nadia. Go ahead, Hustle Smart.
First things first, man, salute the platform. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to your last few videos. I appreciate the work that you're putting in and letting people have their voices. And you know, your tours coming up, man. I hope people go to your tours and check out what you have to provide for the people. And you know, I say this with all love for black people. You know, if Dynasty Tours is too much for you, just don't buy it. You know, you can keep your money in your pocket and you can just watch from the sidelines while everybody else go have a good time. Watch everybody else dance and shake their ass out there in the dirty ass, dry ass, red clay dirt. You know what I'm saying? And eat and have a good time. If that's not what you want to do, if that's not in your price budget, just say you can't afford it. But the last thing that goes with this conversation is to tell a black man about his business practices, and about how the money that he makes for the service that he provides. We got this weird ass individualism that Brother Philip is trying to tell y'all about. We not only do we gravitate towards individualism, we promote individualism, we talk down on you with individualism. You get what I'm saying? To the point that if it don't immediately come to our doorstep, we don't give a fuck about it. We don't care about nothing. as black people unless it's at our doorstep. Now, I know we love the Lord, we love white Jesus, and we pray, we look to the hill, which comes our strength in theory, but we don't help nobody. We don't want to help anybody. And at the end of the day, when Colin need to understand that we just don't like each other. You got black women out here that's trying to pump up black men to go against Project 25, but then want you to get on their back and prop them up when they want to run to the Planned Parenthood and kill black babies. You get what I'm saying? Now, I don't blame black women, because at least black women have no problem with being loud and wrong and being a mammy for massa. But black men are the worst, because y'all still sitting up here trying to call black women your queens. These husky hyenas, these wig wearing wild hyena hood rat from Southeast DC do not want your support. You know what I'm saying? They just want you to stand in line and agree with them. If you're not agreeing with black women, you're the enemy. That's the way we are. Hold on, let me finish. Please let me finish. Please let me finish. What I'm saying is that black women has no incentive to listen to black men, because the only thing that black men bring to the table in the year 2024 is death, dick, and disaster. That's it. That's why when we was on the other platform and we was talking about this, and when we say that if a woman calls a black man and she's crying and she's upset, the first thing that a black man will offer her is, who you want me to beat up? Who you want me to kill? But if she started talking about, well, you know what, I got this business idea that I just can't get off the ground, then the black man is like, he starts sounding,
Hold on,
he starts,
hey, what do you say? Smart. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say?
Smart. He starts sounding like Scooby motherfucking Doo. But he'll sit up there and be like, well, if you need me to fight somebody, I thought you need me to beat somebody's ass. I thought you need me to kill somebody. Black men are not offering anything to black women. So we're just sitting back silent while black women are loud and wrong and leading us down to the hill. That's why I say we're doomed.
Hustle Smart, talk about trying to get black men in the trucking and the struggles that you have trying to convince them.
No, I'm definitely, and dog gonna land in this plane. I have to go out there on Bankhead in one of the roughest neighborhoods in Atlanta and beg black men to become entrepreneurs. But the problem is that black men are scared to take the responsibility of being an entrepreneur. A black man will punch a clock for 30, 40 years, long as the white dude don't call them the N-word. You get what I'm saying?
So
now,
smart.
I give black women credit. They'll job hunt, because the jobs that they work is more computerized. They sit behind a desk, they sit behind the screen. You know what I'm saying? Black men is not going anywhere. You get what I'm saying? But go ahead, and make your point so I can.
Can I ask you a question? Just
go
one
ahead,
question.
ask it.
And this, I just like to ask the realest questions, because I don't have time for all this. You guys are way more intelligent than me. You got the stats and all that shit. This is what I want to ask you. So what you're saying now is we're supposed to shut up and be broke for you?
No, what I say is that this is what I say. I say go to where you're wanted at. Clearly,
we trying to get this money, Hustle Smart. We trying to get this American dollar while we can get it. If these men's don't want to do it, then let them be broke. That's it.
I 100% see. This is the weird thing, Black Beauty. When I've been coming on this platform for a while, and everybody thought I was against black women. No, I'm actually disappointed and disgusted with black men. But that doesn't absolve the black women of being loud and wrong. But the only problem is that they loud and wrong and proud. And you still having black men sitting up here thinking that that's their women. You black men on this panel right now think that black women are our women. Black women are super duper capitalists on a whole nother level. And they'll still take your $40. They'll still take your $30. They'll still take your free lunch. They'll still let
All
you
money
give her
in.
gas money. But at the end of the day, she don't need you. She don't want you. And in American society, she'll sit up there and have your baby and put you on child support. She don't need you there. And the worst thing it is in our community is that, and we have the only group of women that will sit up here and school another black woman how to use the system against black men. But black men, they're so oblivious to the situation that they sit up here following a fat ass and what look good in leggings. That's why I say we're doomed. And the way that we talk, the way that we've been, this conversation going, I've been hearing so many of y'all saying that we're doomed because the numbers never lied. That emotional connection to the black community that's been slowly fading, and that doom train is getting more and more. This is the last thing. I just think that the only thing for us is the only thing can get us out this situation is entrepreneurship, because that would change our mind frame. Go ahead, Black Beauty.
No, let me
say one thing.
Hold on, let me pass it to Nadia. Then I can pass it back to you. Then I got to pass it to T. Go ahead, Nadia, because Nadia's been waiting. Nadia. Oh, Nadia's phone is. Oh boy. All right, we lost her. Go ahead, Black Beauty. I'll pass it to T.
I just want to say to what Hustle Smart just said, because it hurts my feelings sometimes. I'm in Nigeria. I've been here for 2 months already. It hurts my feelings sometimes. I sit here and I speak with the most brilliant Nigerian men who want to capitalize, industrialize, and create within their country, and they can't. Mm-hmm. Then you see the African-American man sitting there on the corner with his Hennessy, and he's not paying attention, or he's just driving the cab, or he's just doing the basic of basic, and he don't want nothing more from life but the basic. And then you see the African man, and he's dying to have more. And it's like, it hurts my feelings that he can't have more. So what do I say to the African-American women? I say, you go find yourself an African man and bring him into the system here. And let him.
But you know, the only problem with that Black Beauty is that the mentality.
Let me pass
the mentality. The mentality. If the black woman's mentality don't change, then she's not gonna. Only people put up with people like the nice civil black woman with the natural hair and all that.
Smart. Let me pass it to Nadia. Go ahead, Nadia. Nadia, you keep calling in on your Obama phone, Nadia. Nadia. Okay, let me pass it to you.
She got that Dollar General flip phone.
Yeah, go ahead, T.
No, I came in on the tail end, man, and I had to leave. I was at work, but yeah, man, when it comes to black men and women, like I used to get mad at black women a lot. Well, not really mad, but I used to have that disappointment. But the thing is, man, yeah, frustration. But just to piggyback off you, brother, I agree. Like the black man standard in women is very low. It's extremely low. It really is, man. This is why we have a lot of women running around big, thinking they fine, and also women of other races. The ugliest ones, I'm talking about the ones that their race of men don't want, come to black men because black men will take them. We have no standards in women. This is why Sexy Red is running around, and I bet you Sexy Red has a lot of black men lining up trying to hit. I promise you she does. And you have to understand, if the woman doesn't have any consequences from the man, meaning if her behavior is rewarded, why would she change? And this is the point. This is why I don't really, I see it firsthand. I'm like, there's no point in criticizing women, because if she walks out the house after she gets offline, she hears what we got to say. There's a lot of black men validating their behavior, because a lot of black men, unfortunately, are thinking in the lower area. They don't even know what's going on. Like, Donis, I'm going to give you an example. Tariq Nasheed, I'm not a big fan, but, he was talking about politics. And he was talking about how the illegal immigrants from the southern border are coming into Chicago and New York. And you get a black Democrat man calling in, don't even know that's even happening. He's talking about, where are these illegals coming in into the black community taking their resources? And Tariq Nasheed is like, well, are you watching the news? Are you hearing the black residents in Chicago and New York complaining about it? He's like, oh, no. So you don't even know what's going on in your surroundings. It's like you are living in La La Land, and that's the major problem, man. The reason why our women, unfortunately, are the way they are, and I'm not putting all the blame on black men, but I'm like, our standards is low. We're just trying to smash. Like, let's keep it real. We don't care about their standards. They could walk around in a two piece, and you're gonna have black men trying to win them over with money, taking them out to nice places because black men are just trying to smash. So of course her mindset is not going to change, and that's why I'm trying to tell the brothers, you have to focus on the men first. I promise you, if the majority of the black man's mindset change, it will trickle down. But if we try to focus on these women, that is a losing battle.
Hey, let me ask you a
All
question
right, well,
before you pass that,
hold on. Let me pass it. Nadia, are you there, Nadia? Nadia.
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You keep going in and out, Nadia. You keep freezing. Your Obama phone. You got to call in on, at least a Samsung, preferably an iPhone.
Oh, okay.
At least a Samsung.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for having me. This is addressed to AA. I know she said in African traditions and cultures, they force basically culturally the man to marry the woman. Unfortunately, in the Black American culture, they did not force black men to marry. And that caused where black women had children out of wedlock just to have someone to care for them in their old age. It gave black women an impossible chance, a choice, because if they end up waiting for a man to marry them, they would never get married and they would die childless with no help in their old age. The black church and the black community did not force black men to marry. And that's basically what the crux of the matter problem with the black community in this country I see.
You don't think it's the women's attitude?
It's not about attitude. It's not about attitude. Marry. All cultures marry.
No.
It doesn't matter about the attitude.
Let me tell you something, Miss Nadia. That's just like saying you have two dogs outside, you know what I'm saying, that you're trying to upkeep and you're trying to take care of. One dog is friendly, you know what I'm saying? You call his name, it come to you, you know, you take care of that dog take care of you. And you got the other dog out there that every time you come out there, that dog is running, biting your foot, biting your, barking at you, and not responsive. Attitude matter because at the end of the day, regardless, hold on, let me make this point to you, Miss Nadia. Regardless of what y'all black women think, black men have feelings too. And a black man don't want to be drugged down or whatever. I know black men sit up there and act like
we're not doing that.
What I'm saying is that black men do not have to deal with no sassy, big back, silverback chick with a bonnet on her head that's staring at the refrigerator all the time. Black men want somebody that's agreeable. Black men want somebody agreeable. Forcing somebody to marry somebody that's with a bad attitude, that is a recipe for disaster. That's how you end up fighting. That's how you end up fighting somebody. Nobody would want to be with somebody. I wouldn't want a woman to be with me if I wasn't agreeable and I was argumentative and I had a bad attitude. That is not going to be a good situation. That's not going to be a good situation for our kids or whatever. Like a lot of people on here think that I'm a crazy guy, but you ought to talk to my kids. My kids think that I'm the nicest guy in the world because I know how to take the crazy out of the concern. When I show concern for them, I'm showing concern for their benefit. And black women, and listen, I'm not against you. Black women have no reason to respect black men because black men are not respecting themselves, just like T. Khalid just said. You know what I'm saying? Black men sit up there. I have conversations with black men all the time. And the only thing they talking about is what female that who box they gonna rock. You know what I'm saying? What female they can get some butt from. It ain't nothing about building. So I understand. So you can't force black men in a situation where they trying to bang everything that walks. So it's no type of marriage that going on. So black women are just doing whatever they can do because of the situation. But just because you got free range to do whatever you want to do, that doesn't mean you don't drag the black community down in the grave and you take your sons with you to make they become elevated, glorified Pookies and Ray Rays out here destroying the streets, breaking into people cars. You can't even leave your car parked in Atlanta. I have to leave I literally have to leave my car at the job to stop people from breaking into my car. I can take my truck home. Black dudes don't want to break into a work truck. Do you hear me, T. Khalid? Black men do not want to break into
I already know about these guys, but you gotta tell me.
But you get what I'm saying? They don't want to break into that. They might see an application. They might see a card where they can get a job at. But if I leave my charger at home, my windows is getting broken into. So I leave my car at the job. That's the route that we're at. We're doomed. So it has nothing to do with forcing somebody for marriage, because both people have to come to the table with a ease, comforted mindset to make the situation work. Even if it's not love, it's a situationship. But if both people are agreeable, it can last longer than somebody that's barking at somebody with a bunnet on their head staring at the refrigerator. Go ahead, my sister.
I want to say this. First of all, in other cultures, it doesn't matter if a woman has attitude, the man has attitude, who has an attitude. People care about their children being born in wedlock and having their father's last name. It doesn't matter. That in other cultures, they will, let me finish. In other cultures, they will beat a man almost to death, that he would sit down and have babies and not even marry. Black women were forced to end up having children out of wedlock against their will, that they did not have. If they waited for a man to marry them, they would die childless. That is the state of the Black American male, that children had to be born out of wedlock because of that. And women knew they would never get married because the black men, white men, and people in this country didn't marry black women. But thank God we live in a global society. God is blessing black women to go around this world, marry anybody. So black women don't have to have children out of wedlock, because black women deep down never did. They never did, because they even have prayer meetings in churches to pray, to get married, to have families, to have a stable husband. And black men did not do that. So God is blessing black women to go around the world and find other people who would marry them, and the children will be born in wedlock, because it doesn't matter about who has the attitude, who doesn't.
Good men.
It's about carrying on your lineage.
Hold on. Let me say this, sis. Good men who have good morals, who have good ethics, who take care of their body, who are clean, who are godly, who are pious, who are good and economical, who know how to balance their books. Good men who respect themselves, respect their sisters, their brothers, their mothers, their grandmothers, their dads, their grandfathers, who respect the children in their family. Good men. You understand me? So what you're saying is
but it doesn't happen. But it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in this country, ma'am. So black women are going around this world finding men of other races.
But you do understand.
That's what I mean. I'm sitting in Nigeria. That's exactly what I mean.
But
you know, the thing is, the problem
we've taken a turn into the gender war. I think Nadia raises a great point about the importance of family and marriage. I only would say back that the whole country, at least in the United States, was shifted because what happened was there was money to be had in the separation of a marriage rather than the bringing together of a marriage. So what went on was in the 60s, previously, what would happen is that marriage was more of a financial agreement, particularly in segregated Black America, where people needed each other to survive financially because of the kinds of employment that we had in segregation. As we came out of segregation, the country shifted in that divorce at one time was impossible. For example, like into the 70s, women in general, Black women included, could not have credit cards in their own names. They needed their husband's names to have a credit card. There were several things that were deterrents to marriage being broken through a divorce. And what happened was that the court system figured out, listen, there is more money to be had in breaking marriages and doing child support and providing programs that facilitate that than there was in actually keeping marriages together. And so what you're looking at is a cultural shift that happened in Black America as a result of a legal shift. And it's very hard to create a new culture in a different system. So you have these things like what Black Beauty is talking about, is she has reached to Africa to look as a hybrid where she came from in the West with African culture. And what you're saying is, hey, look, the opportunities to have marriage are the most important things. So we have to take the opportunity where it is. What I'm trying to say to you is understand how it got to be that way. In that,
how it got to be that way, sir, is because black men went out to other races and left black women in the dust. They didn't want
that
black women.
actually.
That's what happened.
Wait.
You got to look
Can I
than
respond
that.
to that? Hold on.
Come on, man.
Can I respond to that? Wait, can I respond to that?
Like, that's the simplistic answer right there.
Black men marry black women at 85%, meaning
No,
that
they don't.
15.
Where's
Yeah,
that
absolutely
at?
they
Only
do.
kids go out
They
to
absolutely
Majority of
they
black
do.
men are marrying black.
They absolutely
No,
they
they marry
do.
black women.
Yeah,
I
Google the
hate-
My
statistic.
mother's on the phone.
Black
My mother is on
men
the phone.
marry
Here
black
she is.
women
Hold
at
on.
a percentage rate of 85%.
Okay,
Black
but that
women.
doesn't count.
Wait. Let me just give the numbers and then we can debate it.
But Phil,
Black
once the
women
numbers
marry
matter,
black
we
men
know.
at a rate of 95%. So you're talking about 5% of black women and 15% of black men. Most black men marry black women, and most black women marry black men. Now, there's another subcategory.
If y'all try to marry these Pookies, ain't gonna happen.
Wait.
But I
There's
mean,
another
let me ask you a question, Phil.
subcategory of couples that don't get married.
Something to say.
Okay, continue.
I have something to say.
Yeah, they don't marry.
I have something to say.
Okay,
Go ahead, ma'am.
My name is Alawana.
Yes.
I'm from Cuba. I was brought here from my homeland, living with people that I never knew. And I saw for myself that the black males here in America don't give nothing about the black women here in America.
They don't marry.
And I have seen that. It is not like the country that I came from, and that is Cuba.
Yeah, people don't marry.
Let a black woman
I've
get
nemen
beat
seen
up and watch all these black men
hatred.
jumping in.
Wait a minute.
Wait. I've been to your country.
Hatred.
I've been to your country.
Wait a minute. I'm the oldest. Give me some respect. I'm the eldest that's on this phone. I'm almost 70 years old. And I want you all to listen. America has fallen in her respect for herself. She has fallen from the graces of a higher power. America has fallen into debauchery, all kind of wickedness. These things have happened to Americans. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If my people that's called by my name and humble themselves,
somebody get this,
and
man.
that they will prosper. Please, wait a minute, Nadia. I'm Nadia's mom. She happened to be born here and grew up here. I was born in Cuba and spent my earliest years there. Yes. I was born there. And I'm going to tell you something. There are problems there really in Cuba as it is over the world. But if we don't humble ourselves before the God Almighty, it's going to continue to be like that.
Praise Him.
And so what I'm saying is no need for us to argue. What we need to do is shake each other's hand by mouth, saying, okay, God bless you, brother, and well be with you. God bless Dinez that he has this forum going on and anybody else that's there. God loves us all, but we have gotten out of line. And when we're out of line, chastisements do come. But God is a God of mercy. God is a God of love. And I'm going to tell you all, I am the eldest on this phone. How old am I? 66.
Yeah.
I'm 66 years old. And I'm going to tell you, no, I am 66 years old, sir. And I'm going to tell you one thing. People make mistakes. whether they fornicated out of wedlock. People make mistakes, whether they ran and stole and robbed people. People make mistakes, whether they got their shotgun and shot another person because they was gambling and honey, they was mad because they losing. All kind of things people have done. But I believe when we stand before the Almighty God, we have to give account for our sin. And I'm going to tell you, you have to make up a mind that God, I repent and I'm sorry for what I have done. And I'm sorry for the other person. But I believe in a holy God. Move, Nadia. I'm telling this man something. The people.
The video's in the wrong way.
Wait, can I say?
I just got a comment real quick. Hold on. I just got a comment on the gender war thing real quick. Because
I'm going to tell you, everyone, we can all speak. Take your time and say something and then pass the line because we all want to speak.
Can I just take one moment and then I'm gonna jump out. I've been to Luana's country, to Cuba. I was there recently. And the Cubans have a different sense of self and of purpose and of blackness. Their belief in family and their effort to be married is on another level, that Black Americans, I don't know if we ever were there. And so I understand what she's saying. I just think that it's very difficult to replicate what you have in Cuba here. Because the Cubans, if you talk to them like this woman here, they have a strong sense of self. They have a strong sense of what is a Cuban. And that Cuban is Black. Even many of the whites, like the symbols of Cuba are Black symbols. So it's a tough bridge to gap of what's happening here in Black America with what is happening in Cuba. I understand why that was hard for her. So I'll leave it there. T, thank you for giving me a
hold on. Let me say something because I've been waiting for a minute.
About their image, though, especially now. Hold on, just real quick, because I was fair and I called out Black men, but you had a sister in here saying Black women aren't getting married. You have to understand, Black women have to care about their image the same way I said Black men have to care about their image, because the Black woman's image, unfortunately, it is of twerking and debauchery, and it's prevalent in the media. Yeah, and you do not hear a lot of Black women calling that out. In fact, there's a lot of excuses made, and I've known it and I've heard it. Y'all don't know what these women are been through. They just living their lives. Don't judge them. So when you make those excuses for bad behavior, and I'm telling you, as a young Black man, if all you know is if you go, I'm being serious. Trust me, I got a beautiful Black woman, so I don't have no hatred of Black women. But I'm telling you, if you're a young Black boy and all you see is Black women twerking and half naked, I'm telling you, all you're gonna want to do is smash. I'm telling you, you're not looking at them for their mindset. You're not looking at none of that.
Let me say something real quick. No, hold on. Let me say something. I've been waiting. Hold on. I've been waiting. Hold on.
Go ahead, Big Black.
Hold on. Let me just say this. First of all, everybody's talking about jumping down Black men's throats, right? You know what I'm saying? First of all, it was Black men that got Assad Shakur out of prison and got her into Cuba while she has a bounty on her head right now. That was Black men that did that broke her out of prison, a male prison, at that. Okay. Second of all, y'all, I see all this, and I'm Pan African, but all this finger waving at Black men on some. Last time I checked, did Nigeria have its industrial revolution yet? So when y'all tell us, oh, you need to be like this, and we look over there and we're like, well, goddamn, where's the shining example on some real stuff, man? I mean, listen.
You don't have to look over there.
No, you're looking over here, so we gotta look over there. You say, well, Black men need to do this, Black men need to do that, and we look over there, and we ain't seeing no industrial revolution. Okay, lead by example. Where the example at? You tell us to lead by example.
He's up the block from your street. He live in America already.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Big Black, pause. Where you from, my brother?
I'm from the Chicagoland area.
You say what now?
Hello?
Chicagoland area.
Oh, Chicago? That's what's up. Go ahead, brother.
I'm from Chicagoland area. So all this, everybody wants to
Can
point the
somebody hear
finger. This,
me?
that.
I don't
First of
know.
all, let me just finish. The whole marriage dynamic in America is different than any other country. Marriage is falling in all races when it comes to America, as far as like divorce rates and marriage rates. Those are falling across the boards. Hey, let's be real. It's because it benefits the women way more than it benefits the men, and on all races across the board, the numbers are dwindled. So let's not just put this on black men.
Big Black, Big Black, pause, hard pause. Listen, brother,
Hello? Can somebody
the
hear
thing
me?
that we don't have to do
We
is
we
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 don't
hear you.
never
We
have
hear you.
to
Hold on.
try to compare because we already know the marriage situation in other countries. We know that the laws in America are geared towards the women at 73%. See, I don't know if any of y'all, I don't been married
That's why
twice. You know
marriages
what
are
I'm saying?
bad.
And I believe in divorce. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get married next week so I can divorce a chick again. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with it. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, it's a contract. A lot of y'all just don't believe in the contract because a lot of black men, we're raised up by women, so we'll let women tell us to do the right thing, and we thinking black men think going into marriage blindly without having your paperwork, without having anything signed, without having your assets, you thinking it's built off of love until it's time to get a divorce. Then you're gonna realize, no, that's what she said. That's what your mama them said. That's what your auntie them said. But at the end of the day, once you sign your name on this paper, it is legal. And I'm glad we got brothers like Philip on here and have him come on here to explain to the brothers. Don't get caught up with that emotional shit. I know she sent up there stuffing 373 pounds in them leggings with the vibranium creases to shape that thing together to make it look good. But when she take off them, when she take off them clothes, when she take off them clothes and part of her body is South African and the other part of her body is in Scandinavia, then you're gonna feel like you got tricked because she got that tricky body. And believe me, when a chick start off thick like that with her thighs scrubbing, she ain't going to the gym because we're the only group of men that think an obese chick with knees knocking, with black thighs inside. We the only people that think that's sexy and cute. We'll be sitting up there trying to take her. We'll be sitting up there trying to take her to Golden Corral, get her a large sweet tea, and get some extra sugar right down the side so she can get them yeast roll to put with it because we like Big Booger Wolf, Stacey Abrams. You even had brothers when Stacey Abrams was running for governor, people was like, Hustle Smart, leave her alone. Stacey Abrams can get it. What are you talking about? Black men will fuck anything. Let me tell you something. The only thing a Big Booger Wolf, Stacey Abrams, Jerome Bettis looking chick can do for me is to point me in the direction of a chick that's 285 pounds lighter than her. A big chick will never trick Hustle Smart out of any type of penis. Any type of penis. My mind just ain't built that way because my mind is on entrepreneurship. My mind is on working. So even when you so listen to them, I'm ending with this, bro. When you have an entrepreneur mindset, you don't have no off days. Even when you're chilling at home, you're thinking about how many ways that you can make business, how you can cut costs. But when you're working a 9-to-5 job every day, you can sit at the Waffle House and watch these big back chicks coming out of Waffle House with 36 waffles and 3 hash brown plates, and you trying to pay for that so you can get some goddamn boofed up, pumped up box. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you're gonna go raw dog in her and skeet up in her and then wonder why she got you a child support. She irresponsible, you reckless with the penis, you know what I'm saying? And now you got Pookas and Ray Rays out here breaking into my charger. I passed the mic.
All right, let me pass it to Jonathan. Go ahead, Jonathan. Go ahead, Jonathan. Unmute yourself, Jonathan. Jonathan. Okay, go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Hey, I just want to comment. And first, I want to start by saying
I'm a proud supporter of Project 2025. The only reason a black person could have to go against Project 25 is because they want to abort their fetus, right? So we know that the number one group that's against Project 2025 is black women, and they've been commissioned to fearmonger black people in the name of Project 2025. There is nothing, I repeat, nothing in Project 2025 that can hurt a black person unless that person has a 100% self-destructive mindset. And the only way you could be against Project 2025 is if you feel like the ability to eradicate your unborn children is a priority. Because that's the only thing I could see after reading it that black women would object to. Also, I want to say all black people, whoever has the means, should spend $5 to join the Heritage Foundation. They've created resources for you to be a part of the administration of this country that you love so much. If you're a Pan-Africanist like myself, Dinus, they criticize you for wanting to leave America to go be in Africa or to build in Africa. At the same time, if you give insight as to what you believe would be the best option to make remaining in America possible, they say, "Oh, I thought you was a Pan-African. Why are you over here talking about American politics?" To be a true Pan-African is to face the ugliest side of your own group or people, the contradictory, hypocritical, degenerate, self-destructive side that automatically activates whenever you challenge them to better themselves in any way, right? We will promote things like socialism. We'll promote things like stupidity, right? We're the only group on earth where a damn lawyer who make $100,000 a year get on YouTube and tell you that socialism is the best option when he would never participate in it in any shape, form, fashion, whatever. Dudes up here got businesses, entrepreneurs, but they're selling you socialism and stuff like that. We got to understand that the intellectuals, the professionals, right? They're the enemy, even more so than the white man, because at least the white man gonna give it to you straight up and down. You say, "Hey, Mr. Charlie, is socialism the best option?" He gonna say, "Hell no, capitalism. We need to make some money." You go to a black man who's your senior, who's supposed to be honest with you. They get up on here and lie to you. But if you could sit in and be a fly on the wall when they talking to one of their kids, I guarantee you what they tell their son and their daughter that's 22 and 23 goes totally against the BS that they selling to you and the pie in the sky garbage that they give you on the internet. So I'm all for Project 2025. Pookie and Ray Ray can be damn straight to hell. Those are the products of dysfunctional homes. Those are products of single mothers, fathers who are degenerate, who ain't never around, and ultimately they are the product of unbridled lust. That's it. It's the unbridled lust, unbridled, uncontrolled emotion. And what do we know about emotion, Dinus? Nothing can be sustained on emotion. Not a movement, not a baby, not a daycare center, nothing. So those people need to be left to their own devices, and we need to let nature just take its course. If your daddy didn't have time to raise you and your mama needed to have a life too, guess what? Sorry, but you lose in the grand scheme of things. Now flip the table over and go straight to hell.
All right, go ahead, Dre. Unmute yourself, Dre. You got a lot of background noise.
Oh, can you hear me?
Hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. So this whole thing about Project 2025, of course, I don't agree with it because it calls for gutting of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is the DEI programs in the workplace, stating that the need of a reversal of the DEI revolution in labor policy and insisting that the next conservative administration, I guess, eliminates every one of those wrongful and burdensome ideological whatever. I don't think that is really going to be the benefit to our community. And of course, the whole Pookie and Ray Ray thing, doesn't really make sense to me either, because I just feel like people are kind of using these tropes on this panel to try to attack Black people, especially Black men. And I noticed that people are trying to make it seem as if like we don't have systemic issues in the community, and they want to be dishonest. And then they think that Black capitalism is going to solve our problems, not knowing that in order for you to solve this problem, you need policies in place to, you know, get things going. Entrepreneurship is not going to fix this. That's just Black capitalism wrapped up in just nonsense. It's just really white capitalism that's in blackface. That's not going to do anything. And of course, even when you talk about businesses, 98% of Black women don't even have an employee. Just like with Black men, over 90% of Black men don't have an employee. So basically, these are just side hustles that people are talking about. And also, too, when you talk about these myths that people believe in terms of, like,
an employee.
That's of a white company. Most Black people are an employee of a white company. How many Black people are employing white people?
Entrepreneurship won't work, but you work for a white man.
Brandon, go.
Because they got more capital.
Dynas, he worked for a white entrepreneur, but entrepreneurship won't work. Make it make sense.
Because Black people don't have capital, they're undercapitalized.
You don't know what Black people have. All you know is what you have, and you're broke.
I know. Yo,
so you rather sit here and try to shame me and stuff like that instead of actually listening to what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to tell you. Wait a minute. What I'm trying to tell you is that Black entrepreneurship is not going to fix the community. All it's going to do is just put profit over people. I'm not about putting profit over people.
You've never been an entrepreneur. If all the entrepreneurs disappear, your job is gone, Leandre. It doesn't make sense what you're saying.
If your business fails, it's going to be gone too.
But don't Black people always complain about racism at work? So wouldn't you want Black people to be in business?
Just one second.
I'm not saying Black people shouldn't be entrepreneurs. I'm saying you cannot
Black
do Black
people have what white people have.
Entrepreneurship without Black politics.
No, we need to have entrepreneurship without race being brought into the equation. Listen,
we need Black politics in order to get. Oh, so you're saying you're against protections? You're against protections?
There's no protection for you.
Like social contracts? I'm talking about federal contracts, like federal contracts, social things.
Can I tell you something, Leandre? Do you know that there is no law in America that prevents your employer from firing you? If you're Black, your employer
but they get
can
social
fire
contracts.
you.
They get federal contracts.
Black people get federal contracts too.
Yeah.
But
okay,
most
so
don't.
what's the problem?
But they're not protected in the same way as white business owners are.
Because not as many Black people apply for federal contracts, Leandre. We are a minority.
So are you saying that reparations won't fix that?
Can I get some of your reparations check to start a business?
Okay, what does this have to do with anything?
Because you're not gonna share none of your reparations. You can't give a bunch of ignorant monkeys money and be like, they're gonna build a house. You gotta give it to Black people. You gotta give it to Black people.
All I'm hearing is just a bunch of racist tropes.
Listen, man,
about Black
I'm not calling
people
them
in the
monkeys because
community.
they Black. Monkeys is white when you shave them down. See, so you think of yourself as a monkey, but a monkey white when you take the fur off.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, what I heard so far is there's a bunch of racist tropes.
As long as we got a bunch of excuse makers like you, we'll never do anything because you're gonna find fault in everything.
We have to be intellectually honest. You're being intellectually dishonest.
Okay,
and you're
listen. Let me say this, my brother. I do appreciate you. Let me say this. If you were being intellectually honest, Leandre, you wouldn't understand. Wait a minute. No, you're not. Because you show up to a retail job every day that keep you poor and you still keep going back. You're not being honest. You in denial. You think that
most Black people are working class people.
You're unhappy. You're unhappy
Most Black
with
people
your
are working
personal
class
life.
people. Those are Black jobs. Those are the type of Black jobs Donald Trump was talking about.
I can't put my problems on Dynas.
Andre, those jobs are being automated away.
See, y'all are acting like the boulets. Y'all acting like the Black boulets that do not give a fuck about the Black community.
We are the boulets, Negro.
Y'all don't give a fuck about the Black community. All y'all care about is your own self-interest.
My knee surgeon's a Black man. He makes probably $300,000-$400,000 a year.
That's an anecdotal situation.
What are you talking about?
That's an anecdotal situation, my guy.
Well, my doctor is Black and he make over $200,000 a year. So that is anecdotal.
Is he ADOS Black?
Who stopped you from being a doctor, Leandre? The white man or that retail check that you accepted as blood money?
But how do you know every black person wants to be a doctor?
Oh,
Exactly. Bingo.
But that doesn't mean that some do. Some do want to be doctors and they never get a chance to be. Because people don't trust black doctors, especially ADOS doctors.
Some of the best
You
teachers.
understand
What is stopping black people from being doctors? I don't understand what's the barrier.
See, y'all are trying to make it seem as if systemic racism doesn't exist, and I'm here to tell you that it does.
I played football in college. My coach was a black man, and he was like a second father to me.
You're using anecdotal situations to prove a point, and it doesn't make any sense.
Black men can succeed if they put the effort
It's this
in.
same old do for self nonsense. It's not going to get us anywhere.
Leandre,
so sit around and complain and wait for the white man to love us. That's going to get us
you never
nowhere.
say this about Jewish people. You never say this about Native Americans. You never
Because
say
they
that
don't
about
sit around and complain. They do what needs to be done. They don't complain to white people.
They got reparations.
Because they fight for
One
it.
mic.
Who is this white dude?
Hold on. We know who it is. Shut up, Brandon. Let me pass it to Chrissy because Chrissy's been.
I don't know this cracker. Hey, Chrissy.
Hi, Simplies. How you doing?
Go ahead, Chrissy.
Who was the person talking? Is that Dre W?
Dre W.
Oh, Dre W.
He work at Macy's in the perfume section.
What does that have to do with anything? Go ahead and let Chrissy talk.
Okay.
Hey, y'all,
he work in the men's underwear section.
Y'all. I'm about to shoot everybody. Go ahead, Chris.
Yes, so I understand the point that Dre W is making about politics, but the reality is the policies that he's talking about will never happen. Okay.
What makes you say that?
Because it has been 400. Number one, whether they're Republican or Democrat, they don't care about black people. Let's really be honest. There have not been.
We have to demand them to do something.
Please.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. There have been generations that have demanded. When it came to the harm, it was specific. The same people who benefited from the harm being specific towards black people are against the improvement, right? The correction being specific to black people. When you try to be specific to black people, when it comes to correct the harm that was specific to black people, those same groups complain, right? They fight against it. So there will not be any black specific policy. We have to forget about that. All right.
Okay. So my question. Oh, go ahead.
Position we do have to do for self because no one is coming to save us because no one gives a damn. Let's be honest. How do we save ourselves? Things that we had that we didn't have. Family is going to be really important. Changing our mindset when it comes to materialism is going to be really important. Changing our focus on celebrity this and celebrity that and focusing on education is going to be really important. Get rid of individualism and being a community is going to be really important. That's going to be our lifeblood and our life force, right?
That's fighting words, Miss Chrissy. You talking about individualism?
So
you said we can't abort our kids?
No,
Chrissy,
can I ask you something?
Chrissy, imagine being one of the best athletes in the world, right? You have a gift from God and you get $20-30 million. And then these young men go out and buy 50 cars and a ridiculous house.
Right. All of that is a problem. But let me
a gift from God. That means we don't work hard. God gave us this gift and we give money. Stop with the white crap, okay? We work hard for our what we get, even on the sports field.
Right.
Okay. So you said you're against individualism, right?
If you're an athlete, no, hold on. If you're an athlete, that's a gift from God. You have extraordinary.
Y'all gotta let her finish, man.
Go ahead, Chrissy. Go ahead and finish, Chrissy. Go ahead.
So I can tell you, in the Caribbean community, it's also in the black community. We have something called susu, right? And susu is what my parents used to buy their house. Susu is what a number of my family members did to build business. It's basically where, okay, it's 10 of us and we say, okay, you're going to treat this like a bill. So every month, every week, you have to put $100 towards it or $50, whatever. So $400 a month, treat it like a bill, right? $400 a month goes to one specific bank account. Every month you're putting this.
What about Leandre's $500 child support payment?
Let me finish now.
I don't have kids, but go ahead and let her finish.
After that 12-month period, then you don't do 100, then you do less. After that 12-month period, everybody gets a payout every week, right? So I did a susu and I got a few $1,000s because I was doing the susu. You get a lump sum of money and you can do it where everybody does it together and gets a lump sum of money. As I said, my parents used that lump sum to purchase a house. I have a family member that used that lump sum when it came to them to start a business. So that's collective group economics, right? That's a form of group economics. There are things that we can do that we're just not, our mind isn't wired that way anymore. We're just not accustomed to it anymore, that we can do to build ourselves up. Getting married, yes, is going to be important, right? Because if the study is saying 65% of Black people making $37K, I was very shocked because all over line, everybody making $100,000 when you talk to them online. Everybody making 100,000. So I was shocked to see so many making 37K. But if you are 37K and I'm a 37K and we put that together, that's $74,000 together. So we are
can I
going
ask you something
to
right
change
quick?
the way we think. We
Man,
cannot
let
depend
her
on the
finish
government
talking.
because the government is not interested in Black people. If they have not made that clear to you in 400 years, I don't know when you're going to get that, right? When I said, when it comes to the harm being specific, it was fine and dandy when they were kicking Black people down. When it comes to correcting being specific, they are against it. So you're not going to get that. So we just have to be realistic about what the tools we have and use the tools that we have. We cannot go complaining to government and the white man. They don't give a damn. We could disappear tomorrow. They could care less. We have to change our mindset.
Dinus, can I say something, please?
To survive.
I gotta pass it. Chris, hold on. Chris, are you done?
I'm finished. Yes. That's
all right. Go ahead, Mike. Let me pass the mic. Don't interrupt, and then I'll pass it back to you, Brandon.
To me,
white man can't jump.
Go
Can
ahead,
I
Mike.
go after Mike?
No, it's
I
Brandon.
can't
After
jump.
Brandon.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Can we all take a vote to banish Mike from the panel so I can talk?
No, we can't. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'm 6'3", bro. I can dunk over you any day. It's no problem. But
Only
no,
if you
you're
were
right.
standing on the back of a black man.
What do you talk? Why is everything about race with you?
If you dunk on me, I'm a body slam you.
Man.
Are you?
Mike,
upset?
Mike,
No,
go.
it's okay.
Mike,
It's okay. Are you upset that I have a black wife? Is that why you're upset?
Mike,
Ooh, I didn't know you had a black wife.
Oh,
I
shots
have
fired.
mixed children. Yeah, I have mixed
Mike,
children.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
You think we mad because you got a black woman?
Man.
You sound
three of them.
Mike, go ahead, Mike.
you sound angry. I took her from you. You sound angry.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, but no, the whole notion is that you're right. There's systemic racism all over the country, and it's so upsetting to me that a lot of Black men and women want to be Democrat. But it seems to me in the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years, Democrats are not helping the Black community. They're just not, and all the migrant crisis, everything else coming in, it's like they're trying to buy votes. But you vote for who you want to vote for. But I just hope everything comes out right. I hope everything, comes out in the end properly, because we're all God's children. And that's the truth. I mean, I wear a cross. I am a Christian. But the thing is that they, as in the media and the government, they want to divide us, and keep us against each other. But if we unite, we'll run this whole show. That's what I'm trying to say, the world. But it's sickening to me that people will fight each other. They don't even know you. Like any of you people, if you were pulled over on the side of the road and you had a flat tire, I would stop in a heartbeat and help you. I'd get on my belly.
I would rob you, Mike. I would rob you.
I wouldn't stop to help you.
Well, you wouldn't want to rob me because I carry. You wouldn't want to rob me.
I want to rob you. I'm just not stopping for you. Mike,
So you
you
wouldn't want
understand
to
to unite with us in Africa.
Brandon, y'all start fussing when people interrupt you. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to try to rob me because I carry, brother, and I'm a good shot. But the thing is that I would help anybody, no matter what they look like, where they come from, what their race is, anything, their age. I would help somebody, and I just hope in the world we get back to that. We get back to helping people. Remember when your neighbor would come knock on your door and they need something, or can you help me do this? You can help me do that. It's like there's no connection anymore. And I think it happened after COVID. I think we were all like stuck inside with COVID, and we became almost like hermits. I didn't, because I still work, because I was still working. But people would be locked in the house for a year, and it's almost like they became dissociated with the world. What do you guys think?
No, that's just trailer. That's trailer park babble.
It's
You
my
know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna make it. It ain't gonna make us no different. But listen, let me tell something. To you. I got some good news for everybody that hustle smart, you know what I'm saying? Now that, my credit score has jumped up to 821, and I have good news for my African Nice Toto fund. It used to be 25,000 for me to trick off with multiple African house girls in selective countries. Dinus, could you tell them what the new amount for me to trick off in Africa is, my brother?
34,000.
34,000. Don't forget about the 900, because that 900 is 1.4 million naira. You get what I'm saying? So it would be a lot of tricking off. I heard what y'all brothers said, that 25,000 wasn't enough for me to trick off in Benin City. So I stepped my game up and I got it up to 34,900 for me to, soak my seed, so to speak. But what Mike is saying over here is basically what he's doing is, it's a pipe dream. He has the luxury of being a white guy, regardless he's Italian or whatever. Society's gonna see him as a white guy, so he can be as nice as he wants to. I was always told this, Mike, a long time ago. A black person got to prove themselves to the police or to anybody, to any being that they're a nice person. But a white person have to prove to the system and other white people that they're a bad person. No matter what you say or what you do, you will always have a foot up in any situation we're dealing with one of us. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just the
Right.
way it is. Hold on. I don't fault you against it, but what I'm just telling you, this the realism of that. You could be you could be the nicest white knight, you know what I'm saying, Micah Knight, Cape Crusader, whoever the fuck you want to be, because you have that luxury of being that. You get what I'm saying? Black people, we don't have that luxury. We don't have that luxury. The time is ticking on us. The time is ticking on us. We got about 4 or 5 years, Mike. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are against. We're already the third minority. You got black people out here. You got black women out here shaking ass, doing split, waving their weaves in the air to fight, to kill their babies at the child support office. So even if you have white women doing the same thing too, we don't have the numbers to compete with white women when it comes to abortion. We don't have the numbers to compete with white women for black women to act the way they act. So what I'm saying is, regardless, Mike, we let you talk, Mike. What I'm saying is that we don't have the time or the space, because the numbers are already against us. It's already 78 million Latinos in there. Black people, we are the third minority, and we don't stick together. The other people, that's 78 million, they stick together. White Mike, no matter what you say or how you could come on Black Channel, at the end of the day, you'll be accepted in that forum before we will. You get what I'm saying? So you can, what you call, dabble in the dark however you want to, and you would be accepted, because black people just like that. But at the end of the day, if we go down your lineage, it'll be less people that think like you towards black people than it is for black people to see. If you come around black people, or a black woman brings you around black people, she will sit up there and let her family know that, look, this is my guy. Don't none of y'all disrespect him. Y'all disrespecting me. Black women are the best attack dog security officers, top flight security of the world, Mike. Not just of the neighborhood, of the world, Mike. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you will only be in control. You will only be in control of the person that you are. The rest of your people wouldn't fuck with black people, but you do. So it's cool. They'll put up a good face, but that's not it. But what I'm saying to us is that we got to get out of this mindset and become entrepreneurship. That's what I promote. That's what I say we need to do. And we need to lead these big back, silverback chicks. Let Mike take 12 of them. Because I tell y'all all the time, if she ain't foreign, she boring. I would never let a black American woman trick me out of any penis, bro. You can spend $1,300-$1,400 on a flight. See, that's your problem, Mike. You got that colonizer mindset that you won't let a black man talk. It's in your DNA to be a colonizer. You get what I'm saying? So you can't even help it. So, but you know what I'm saying? We appreciate you here because even when you're trying to be nice, the colonizer in you, the Portugal, the Spain, the Neanderthal comes at you because you can't help yourself,
Neanderthal.
even when
I'm
you're
a
trying to be
caveman.
nice.
I'm a
So I pass
caveman.
the mic to my brother Brandon.
Hey,
I'm a
it's my turn.
caveman. I'm a
Hey, Mike,
caveman.
I'm not gonna go in on you like
I'm
Hustle
going
Smart.
next.
You Hustle, Mike, you got enough tongue lashing from him. I don't really agree necessarily with what Hustle Smart is saying. The thing with Mike, where I would where I would basically fault white people is you guys are the ones who wouldn't discipline y'all kids and stuff. Now they out here crazy blue hair freaks talking about is 54 genders, want to be a woman and all that type of stuff
That is
because
true.
you guys were so afraid to divide the ranks and let black people gain a foothold in any area. You guys tolerated all types of nonsense and it basically backfired on you. The creature has turned against you. Let's be real. Why is the world in the turmoil it's in? Why does America look the way it looks? Because you got something called DEI, you got something called LGBTQ, transgender ideology, pedophile ideology, which was what? Liberalism perpetuated by white people. This all started with the Great Society crap. And
Yeah.
that has had an absolutely detrimental impact on the entire population of America. And
Yeah.
instead of taking accountability for the monster you guys created, you guys want to throw some let's all stick together, we're gonna unite mumbo jumbo. You know who started off? You know the most recent demon that has tried to take advantage of people with the let's unite and the tolerance crap? It was the LGBTQ. They used to be all about tolerance. We just want to exist. We're not a threat. We're not going to do anything to you. Now we look up, they coming for our kids in the school. They out here calling black folks racist and we bigots now. If we don't want to let them manipulate and diddle our children and brainwash our children. Mike, the problem is not black and white unity. The problem is white degeneracy. You guys don't want to tell y'all kids nothing. Y'all don't want to tell y'all. Hold on. You guys don't want to tell y'all kids nothing. Y'all think they gonna kill themselves if you don't affirm their gender. You guys have lost control of your youth, and your youth has become a cancer within our society. Listen, wait a minute.
But Brandon,
Hold on
you
one
don't
second,
know
Mike.
my
Hold on one
family.
second,
Don't
Mike.
say
Hold
you're
on, Mike.
wrong. So
Hold on,
I'm
Mike.
gonna drop this real quick.
One mic. No, Mike.
Hold on,
No,
real
Mike. It's
fast.
my show, but it's my show. But it's my show. But it's my show. Thank
My
you.
two sons would
Mike,
never be a part of that disgusting.
Okay, but Brandon, this is the problem, Brandon. Black people absorbed it and accepted it in mass. So what's that say about us?
Well, Dynas, the reality is they started in the schools. So black people entrusted white people with teaching our children. And next thing we knew, we were being told that we couldn't discipline our children or tell them nothing or they're going to take them away. They basically held black people's children hostage and said, if you don't conform to what we think, we're going to take your kids. So we were basically coerced into acceptance of this crap by white folks.
Hold on real quick. I don't approve of that. I think it's disgusting. I think that stuff in the schools is disgusting.
But Mike, it doesn't matter what you individually think. You got a whole collective looking like you that has sabotaged this entire nation. And instead of telling, listen, you got to clean
like me.
white people. Listen,
So you're a
not
racist. You're racist.
Mike, I'm not racist, Mike. Listen to what I'm telling you. If you open your damn ears up before we unite, you
Right.
guys
You
have
can't
to
control
clean
your
your
emotions.
Mike.
You
If you
can't
would
even
shut
control
up for
your
2 seconds,
emotions.
you can learn
You
something.
can't control your
Before you
emotions.
talk,
You get so upset.
listen, man. Before we can unite, Mike, all of us have to do internal housekeeping. You got to get your group in line. We got to get our group in line. Because if we unite, listen, because the last time we tried to unite with you, you took our kids and said, if you don't let us indoctrinate them with gay stuff, we're going to take them away. So we don't trust you.
Actually crazy? Are you acting or are you actually crazy? Because you're not making any sense. My group, everybody has
Let's take a vote, Mike. Can we ask the other group people, am I making any sense to all my other people on this panel?
No, you're not. You're acting like a fool right now. You're yelling
Well,
and
Mike,
screaming.
Mike, white people do have to take some accountability, man. Because the thing is, I don't do the whole white supremacy thing. But at the same time, if white men were the majority of this country, and they are complaining about illegal immigration. Well, what race is predominantly over the borders? What race is keeping the border open? What race, who is the predominant race, allow LGBT to be taught to kids that way? Why aren't white men standing up and
White
fighting against it?
Democrats.
No, no,
White
no, no, no.
Democrats.
But I'm saying, but how did that happen though? How are white women? You know what's interesting about DEI? How did white women get involved in DEI as if they were not complicit in any slavery or any nonsense against black people? And how are white men sitting back and allowing it?
Sure.
So yet,
Sure.
like white men have got to come together and deal with that. Like black people, we can't do nothing about that.
So,
Remember,
no, it's okay. It's okay. So I'm
Wait, Mike. Listen to this, Mike. Remember when black people
If
used to
you're
be
gonna
able to
cut me
whoop
off,
their
you're just gonna drop. If you don't let me finish the
hey, you
question,
cut
I'm
me
gonna
off
drop.
first. Remember when black people used to be able to whoop their kids when their kids acted up? You guys are the ones who said if we whoop our kids, you was gonna take them away. Now our kids out here killing,
Who's
robbing, and
you?
drill rapping, and
Who?
y'all talking about we
When did
need to
I
get
ever
the
say?
black
When did
community under
I ever say
control.
I was gonna take your kid?
You guys
I never
stripped
said
us
that.
of our power.
Speak after Mike.
You guys stripped us of our
No,
power.
no, one mic. Let me pass.
Bro, you're
Hold
a
on, Mike.
racist.
Mike. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to
You're a
rebuttal.
racist, bro.
Hold on. Let me pass.
I said I never
Mike.
said that.
Mike. Hold on, Mike.
I
Hold
never
on,
said
Mike.
anything like
Mike.
that.
Golly, man. Go ahead,
That's
Killer. Then I'm
the
gonna pass
God
to
in him.
Obama. Go ahead, Killer.
I got a few comments, right? I was listening in, right? And I'm confused, right? And this is, no disrespect, right? But I don't understand the mentality of Black Americans, right? Now hear me out. Why is your worldview
Hey, Killer, you're on your Obama. Killer. You're on your
that's
Obama
the identity
phone.
because
Killer, you're on your Obama phone. You keep going in and out.
That's that goat. That's
Because
that goat
that's
pepper
the
soup
reality we
babble.
live.
All right, go
The
ahead.
fact that a white person can get up here.
One mic. Go ahead,
Let me
Killer.
say my piece. Okay, so my thing is this, right? When other blacks come into this country, y'all like to push that identity on us. Like y'all like to say, you black, they white. What about everybody in between? What about a Russian? Because how does a Russian feel when y'all say
A Russian is a cracker, fool.
You see, this is what I mean. See, that's illogical.
Yeah, see, more racist comments.
A Russian is a white person.
How do you know? Russians can be Siberian. They could be Chinese. They could be
still white.
Mongolian.
They still white.
There could be Asian. They could be
still
Asian.
white. America. They got no history in America. How do you blame them? This is what I'm saying.
Let me ask you.
If black and white, which makes no sense. Or are Chinese white? Or Japanese white?
Killer, what's your point? What are you, Killer?
They get to become white.
Killer, what are
so
you?
If I'm Sicilian and I'm 18% Moorish, does that make me white or does it make me mixed?
You're a white and an Arab.
You're more white. That's what you are. You're more
Italians
white.
became white.
What about mix?
It's colorism now. Now it's colorism. So where you draw the line? Is Beyonce white? Is she somewhat white?
Yes.
Is Mariah Carey somewhat white?
Dinus, Mike should have to pay a $20 charge to get up on this panel. For real.
Of
a $20 reparation fee.
A $20 offering.
Listen,
I honestly think this was disgusting. I think that you let race come into it. I think we're having a good conversation, but it's all good, man. You enjoy your panel and you have a good time. Gentlemen, thank you for having me up. Take care, guys.
Hey, next
bye,
time,
Mike.
make your white picture your avatar. The next time, make your white picture your avatar.
Axel Rod Obama, go ahead.
So if I may, with the commentary towards Mike, if with all of these issues that everyone has stated, the lack of discipline, the children running wild, the blue hair, the overall degeneracy, the situation at the border, that all comes from a Democrat administration. And like I said earlier in the live, and like we all know, 90%, which is vast majority Black America, 90% of the Black population is Black America, FBA, ADOS. 90% of all Black people vote Democrat.
No. That's black
Don't
women.
interrupt me,
That's
please.
black women.
Black women. Get your facts
Do
right
not
before you
interrupt
talk.
me, please.
That's
I know where
black
this is
women.
going.
Interrupt me, please. Do
That's
not.
90%. Well,
Do
get
not
your facts right.
Could you
It don't
please
matter
bring
because
the
you're a
E and
woman.
J and
If
be
your
quiet?
facts is wrong, your
Bring that
facts is
old
wrong.
English and
It's
be quiet.
90% black
Use that
women.
turkey leg hut and be quiet.
Once you say black
Please be
women, once you
quiet.
say what it
William
is.
Chicken, please be quiet. Wings, stop. Vote Democrat.
Yes, mammy.
Vote Democrat. Yes, of course, you're welcome. So if you're
Oh yeah, she a super mammy.
if you're complaining so much, you have the power to vote. The Democrat.
We don't vote Democrat, lady. We vote Republican for Trump.
You have been yelling, and I'm yelling over you.
Not me.
I know to have a conversation.
We
Set
vote
a
for
knot,
Trump.
and then we can
Why are you
respond
talking
to
to us about voting Democrat?
All you do is interrupt. You don't like what you hear, then you interrupt. That's what you do.
We vote for Trump. Why are you telling us about voting Democrat?
You interrupt.
We're Republicans.
You interrupt. Hush.
But we're Republicans.
Hush.
No, you hush.
Of course.
I might work in a room fully of sisters, but these are conservatives.
You eat. You're conservative. You're with that nonsense that you were spilling out. You're blaming white people. This white man who just came on this line, and you're conservative. You're conservative. You take responsibility for yourself and your household first.
Dinus, I got a $10 super chat for you to let me respond to this lady.
Your mouth to this white man who didn't even say anything to you. You're complaining, blaming all their problems. No, the problem starts with you.
Please let me respond to this.
Like productivity. You're now going to Trump. Now, 2020, 2024, where have you been? All this
I voted for Trump all 3 times. What are you talking about?
3 times. Where were you for George W? Where were you in 90s?
I was in high school. Bad wench.
Who did you vote for? Bad wench. You just now started. You're here complaining to a white man. Complain about yourself.
Please let me respond to this.
You heard exactly what I said.
I need to respond to it too.
Mouth to this white man and all these problems, white people, they're not doing anything to you. You're the one doing everything to yourself.
Listen, mammy, if you listen to what we said, nobody was blaming. Nobody was blaming him. Nobody was blaming him. We were referring to.
Put out passport.
Nobody was.
Get put out. Go do what you do.
Oh, here comes the gender war.
Listen, lady. Listen.
Talk about white men. There's nothing Trump about you.
Ma'am, you clearly didn't listen. You didn't listen to what was being said.
Why are you?
But that mammy energy is strong in this one, boy.
Dinus, can I respond to this?
You have had.
Oh, let her go for another 30 seconds. Then you can go.
You've had plenty of time to you and the rest to go after this man. You're really claiming fine. Go ahead, vote Trump. Go ahead. There's no reason to complain about anyone. You focus on yourself. You see the numbers that are here for Black America. The income does not even exist. Why are you even going to this white man? You and that other one here on the panel. Complain about yourself. What, T. Khalid Killer? All of you. Why are you complaining to this white guy for what?
Yo, don't throw me in this.
Hey, slap that wig off and simmer that. Hey, it's my turn. Your 30 seconds is up.
ADOS.
I didn't say nothing to that white boy.
Your 30 seconds is up. Put the wig back on the mannequin.
Andre, ADOS. You can complain here because that little organization that you're part of, that is nothing but an anti-Black immigrant organization. You can complain.
That's not true. That's not true.
This the longest.
That's not.
Hold on, guys. This is the longest 30 seconds ever. It's my turn now.
You've had your turn all this time.
He gave you 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Come on, mammy. Bring it on home, mammy. Bring it on home.
You have had plenty of time to get
land the wig.
Irving.
Come on.
All you're doing is doing a bunch of pep talk. That's all you're doing.
Hush.
And plebiscite babbling.
You have Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore have had more than.
Where's she from? Where's she from?
Where's your family from?
Please just sit and eat. Do what you do best and eat.
Where's your lineage?
And eat.
Where's your lineage? What's your lineage? You Jamaican or Caribbean?
Stop. Hustle smart. Wait, let me respond to this.
Which is not.
Let me respond to this.
It's called high income. That's not.
Ma'am, that's fine. Ma'am.
Had plenty of time, Andre, to put reparations forward.
Ma'am, you just went to a whole other topic.
Moore is a law student. He went to UCLA.
Ma'am, you went to a whole other topic.
All you want is attention, Pan-African. That's all you want is attention.
No, I want to respond to your initial coonerism.
Respond anything. Go eat. Go make money.
Hey, Dinah, can I respond?
I don't me to hear
I
anything you
just
have to
want to
respond
know
to.
if she got.
You
I
don't need
just
to
want to know
respond
if she
to
got her
anything.
malaria
You
shots.
don't need to
That's all I
respond.
want to know.
Well, you
Did
Okay,
you
can
get
let
her
me
let
malaria
me,
finish.
all right, go
shot?
ahead,
Let me
Brandon.
talk about white men.
I'm
Ask her
next.
why you. All right, go
Mammy,
ahead.
Mammy.
Go,
Okay, Dinus. So clearly, Mammy wasn't paying.
listen, I'm closing out soon, so you got a minute, and I got to
Okay.
pass it to Dre and T.
Okay, cool. Hey, Mammy was not paying attention. Nobody was blaming Mike for anything. Mike came in here talking about unity. We all need to come together. And what I was expressing to Mike was none of our races can come together until we do internal housekeeping within our own group. Dinus, black people used to have the most disciplined kids in America. Our kids grew up in two-parent homes. Our kids were disciplined. You go into that school and act out, we was going to put foot to ass until you got yourself together. White folks, I remember it, Dinus. When we was young, our parents could give us a whooping, and if we called the cops on them, the police would say you should have whooped his ass a little harder. Then the white folks came and said, if you put your hands on your kids and they go to the school, we gonna come arrest you and remove the kids. That is when the black community really started going crazy as far as the youth. In the 80s, yes, it was drugs. Yes, there was violence, but that was mostly perpetuated between adults, Diners, people 18 and over. When in the 90s, they made the black parent a criminal. When they said the black man even being around or disciplining his child was made him a criminal, that is when our children really got out of control. White folks let their children go out of control. We started a whole movement surrounding the inability, fighting for stripping parents of the right to discipline their children. Now, what Mike wants to do, and people like him and Mammy over here, they want to say, all right, y'all need to just come together with us and fix everything. If he doesn't realize the reason why America is messed up is because you got a bunch of dysfunctional groups who don't even got control over their children trying to force themselves together. And every other week, our out of control children come up with a new form of psychosis to force upon us because we fear that they might hurt themselves or hurt somebody else, or that we will be criminalized for whooping their ass and setting them straight. I'm not blaming the white man. What I'm doing is charging the white man for being the greatest degenerate to ever walk the face of the earth. And Mammy got to defend her massa.
All right, let me pass it to Dre. Go ahead, Dre.
All right, so to respond to what's her name, Obama.
Super Mammy.
I
Ebo
think
land,
that
Mammy. Ebo land, Mammy.
I think that she has a very misunderstanding of how like the black community works, and I think that she's just babbling about, oh well, if it's all about just this or all about just that. But I'm just saying that I don't get what your point is as far as like you coming at ADOS. I mean, what's really your point? I want to know.
She don't have no point. She just spewing out something. You know, like the thing about it with the ass whippings, whatever, Diane, is like, think about it like this. Now, what Brandon was saying was right. White men are the majority. White men put the law. I mean, Congress been ran by white men 90%, right? Up until the last 8 years, there's been a lot of women coming in there. But white men made up the laws that put in that now that women are using against them to sue them in New York for something, for somebody's. You had a conversation. I had a conversation with Dinus, and then he know two girls, and two girls said they saw me somewhere. Now they can sue me and take all my money for something that happened 30, 40 years ago. These are white men putting these laws in effect. I remember going to school. I never forget when I was in middle school when we found out we had a thing that came on TV. We watched a video about it. This how old I am. We had a video watching about it that if your parents hit you or your parents do this to you, they gave us a number to call, Diners. They gave us a number to call now that if your parents put their hands on you. You get what I'm saying? Like, I never forget the time that I was in the lunchroom throwing plates. No, change that. That's a lie. I was in there throwing tuna fish. So they used to put tuna fish on top of some lettuce, like a little, to scoop it, and I was throwing it in the lunchroom. My mama came up there and whooped my ass outside the school. Never did it again. You know what I'm saying? I was too embarrassed to do it again. But when I saw that video, I found out my mama couldn't whoop me no more. And she couldn't send me nowhere or anything. So I get what Brandon is saying, but that's what the white men do. The white men plagiarize and they just soft as I don't know what, unless it come to sit in an aircraft carrier sending an F-35 or dropping some bombs on another country for some oil, for some cobalt, for some uranium, you know what I'm saying, for some gold. But when it comes to the laws in the city, I don't know why white men sit up there and make these laws that women today are using against them. That's the craziest thing in the world, that a woman can watch you build your business, Donnie, from the ground up. She can work for you every day. You can treat her with the utmost respect. She can leave your job, get some high-priced lawyer, and come to you based on an accusation, Dinus. Based on an accusation can destroy your business. Women that put that law in effect. That was white men that put that law in effect. That was white congressmen, that House members that voted for that. That was white people in the Senate that voted for that. That when the white man and on the president hit his desk, he the one signed for it. They could have vetoed that any type of way. But the only thing that white men didn't calculate is that when white women start turning on them, that using these laws and and provision that was supposed to hurt black people, now that women are sitting up here taking a page out of black women, because black women gonna put you on child support. She gonna put restraint on. She gonna have you locked up. A white woman is gonna take your whole entire business, take your whole entire lifestyle. So I'm with Brandon on that. This is white men's fault on that level. Not that we want anything from them, not that they're gonna give us nothing. Because why would the boot ever respect the roach? Why would the boot ever respect the ant? It's not gonna happen. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that these crazy ass white dudes are making these laws. I don't know what they thinking about in this room. They did just sign this shit away that women now are taking multi-million-dollar businesses down, you know what I'm saying, based on the law that they put in effect. It wasn't black men that put these laws in effect. It's white men that do it. And I passed the mic to T. Khalif because he called us straight for no reason.
Go ahead, T. Go ahead, T.
Okay, now I kind of lost my train of thought, but no, just to pick y'all back off what Brandon was saying. Yeah, I don't do the whole white supremacy thing, but white men, it's like I can't feel sorry for them because what the brother said before me is right. They're the ones that are passing these laws. So you know what I'm saying? You can't complain about it. White men got to start acting like Vikings. They keep saying, our race is gonna get replaced. Well, close the damn border. Why is the damn border open? Why is your people fighting for it? And when you look at cancel culture, when you look at all these businesses like Apple, Microsoft, social media, most of these companies are ran by white men. So they are over here canceling people's freedom of speech, or even destroying people's lives who work at businesses over a false allegation, making false allegations worse. So until white men come together and fix this issue, they really can't say much about black men. And this is not something where I'm complaining to white people or need white people for it. It's just an observation on the outside. And Mike could have stayed. I don't know why he left and ran off. He talks about, liberals being snowflakes. He could have stood his ground like a man and defended himself in his speech.
It's the Jesus in him.
Yeah, he could have stood his ground. I would have a bunch
of devil runs when the truth
do you
come
believe
out.
that conservatives don't have degenerates on that side too?
Can I say this?
What type of degenerates? And yeah, Drew. Let me ask you this, man, because I feel like you think white people are going to do something for you, man. Like, Drew? Let me ask you this: if you was a white person, just think of this: would you want black people to succeed, or would you want them in the situation that they're in now, talking about white supremacy, knowing that they're going to wait for me forever to do something for them? So
I don't think it's about waiting, but I would say that I'm in favor of successful black people. I just feel like we have to do it politically instead of just doing it apolitically and thinking that that's just going to be a solution. And I think the solution.
We all vote for one political party, and then
I don't think we should vote Democrat either. I think we should explore our options.
Yeah, but Drew, do you not understand that black people shame other black people for not voting Democrat? Like, they write articles, like they call us race traitors, like they tell us to shut up and vote. Do you not see that?
No, they tell us to get in line.
I think the black vote is the captured vote. I think people on both sides are trying to capture the black vote and trying to.
You need money to affect politics, Leandre.
Hey, let me,
But we
hey,
don't
guys,
need capitalism to be the forefront of it.
Let me ask you.
T, let me pass it to Killer because he's been waiting. Go ahead, Killer.
Okay.
Killer.
Yeah, I just want to say that because you guys, one of you guys mentioned about they pass laws to cancel people, and
We can't hear you, Killer. You got to get out the bathroom. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you go, my brother.
Yeah. So what I'm
Man,
saying,
make sure you got
brother.
I heard y'all say, right? I heard y'all say that the white man is the reason, passing laws on canceling people and stuff. And based on my observation, cancel culture really came on the scene with the N-word. Because left and right, white people was losing their jobs because they was using the N-word. So how can you put that on white people?
Huh?
I'm confused. I don't know what you're talking about.
Cancel culture came from the LGBTQ.
But Drew, do you think that black folks, if black folks never punish the Democrats or never do anything different, how do you think we're going to come together and have some political agenda? Because we don't
Listen up, rerun.
even show
Cancel
the
culture
world
came from the
that we think
LGBTQ.
different, that will hold anyone accountable. We will never hold the Democrats accountable. So
I think we should hold the Democrats accountable. I agree with you. I just don't think that we should sit here and make it seem like the Republicans are better.
So Drew, no, Drew. We've been voting for them 50 plus years. This is one of the most
we haven't
pivotal
gotten any
elections.
tangibles from them. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree.
But Drew, we've been voting for them for this many years. If black folks still vote for Democrats in this pivotal election at the 80-90%, we will be ignored forever. Why not punish them? Punish them. We've been giving you our vote. You have not
voting red. But voting red is not going to solve
you
this.
want, punish them. That's it. Vote for Trump.
Punish them by voting locally. This is what I told Brandon earlier. I know he cut me off because I said vote locally, but what I'm saying is that I think that's the better solution because we're so fixated on the top of the ballot that we don't think about other options.
But Dre, what you fail to understand that most black people don't vote locally. Most black people don't even know who they
I understand that. I understand what you're saying.
Smart. Let me say this, Leandre. Let me say this. Okay, Leandre. Say somebody punch you in your damn face, right? Do you hurt them more by just turning the other cheek and walking away, or do you hurt them more by punching them back in the face?
But punching them back in the face. But what I'm saying is that how is voting for Trump going to be the solution to our black politics?
I would like an answer. What's going to hurt them more?
The latter part. I said punching them back in the face. But that's
so
not
voting for Trump.
Red is
Wait
not
a minute.
Same.
Wait a minute. Voting for Trump is like a kick in the nuts for the Democratic Party. That's gonna really.
Voting
it's not
against
just
both
gonna
parties
hurt them.
is like kicking the nuts of both parties.
It's not just gonna hurt them. Listen, it's not just gonna hurt them. It's gonna knock them to the floor, and they're gonna be over there clutching their balls. And that's what I'm trying to do.
So why would you say voting Republican is better, and then you said that we practice rugged individualism? Well, the very same party that you're talking about we need to vote for are the very same people that practices rugged individualism, capitalism, and all of those things. So you're contradicting yourself.
That's the thing that y'all. Hold on, T. Khalid. That's the thing you don't understand. No, they don't. I listen to Red Eye Radio. Hold on, let me tell you, bro. I listen to Red Eye Radio every day. No, they don't practice individual. They come on their radio station and they practice group economics. They'll come on there and say, "Hey, we got this building. We got these 10 houses that we wanna build, and we're gonna rent them out. We're gonna open up a company right here. So these 10 houses are going to be guaranteed paid for. We want to put in on this entry level." That's what their radio station promote. They don't, hold on, Leandre. They don't practice individualism. What do our radio stations promote, Leandre? Some paternity test Wednesday, strawberry letter Tuesday, who the baby daddy Friday, some prank phone calls, who in other people's business, what celebrity is banging who with celebrity. We don't even listen. And then on top of that, what we're trying to get you to understand is that politics work off of statistics, polls, and votes. So
as far as group economics,
hold on, Leandre. They're not listening to your voice. They're not listening to your voice. That's why they pay attention to the Latinos, because the Latinos got the numbers. Why you think they letting them flow up in here like Michael Vick back in his prime, running up the 4-3 gout, bro? That's why they letting them flow up in there, because they are an easier group to work with. They already got the black sign, seal, and deliver. They ain't got to do shit for us. So the only thing you can do is to hit them what they know. It ain't the pockets, it's the facts, it's the polls, it's the statistics. So what I'm saying is that if you don't move that scale of 90%, like super duper ultra Ebo Mammy from Yoruba land was saying, that we voting at 90%, which is 90% black women, and it's at 78% black men. That's the real facts. But if we ain't changing that in no type of way, then they're not listening to you.
We're
They
never
just
going to
gonna
be
come
taken
around
seriously.
4 or 5 years and say the word racist, and then black people gonna get scared. You're gonna have Van Jones come up there and crying and tell you what you need to be scared of, and there you go voting blue for no matter who. So that's what it is. If you don't change the politics for the numbers, the stacks, and the polls, they're not gonna listen. So that's the only thing that we can do to get their attention, to bring them to the
It's changing a little bit. It is changing a little bit, because I did look at the
Big
polls.
Not enough,
Daddy,
man.
with your high blood pressure and high blood sugar, you do not build community at all. You do
Well,
not
how do you build a community? Everybody,
nor
all of
your
y'all
children.
always say something about,
You
well, we
keep
don't do
calling me
enough
a
of this, we
mammy.
don't do enough
You
of that.
are
But
broke. You are broke. The median
Who
black
broke?
the
income,
majority of
male,
Black America is broke. Yeah, you're right.
50,000
But why is Black
income.
America broke?
Pan-African. You're
Hey,
not Pan-African anything. You
Axelrod,
do not build community. You are broke.
Axelrod, mammy,
Keep
my
running your mouth, man. You are an insulin-resistant baby daddy.
trick off
Get that
fund is
lemon
what you
pepper
saying
green
that black
stuff
people make.
off
So
your beard
it's
and deal with
impossible.
that
It's
gut.
impossible that
Don't worry
I
about me.
only
I
make
make income. You
$40,000 a
do
year.
not.
Do you understand? So what you're talking about? You're talking about a certain type of black person. You're damn sure ain't talking about this black man right here, because my
I'm talking directly to you.
So why are we conflating income with wealth? How come we don't ever have a distinction between income and wealth?
Talking directly to you. You are obese. Mind, body, and soul. Get your act together first before you even dare come to me. You're not at my level, you're not in my tax bracket. Keep running your mouth to all these
See, I told you it's a bunch of boulets on the panel, and it's not enough black people that root for
Hey, Leandre, if you're dumb enough to
income.
think
That
that this lady got money, listen, bro. Nobody who got
we don't need
money
people
get
to
on
brag
here.
about what they got. We need more communal uplift.
Leandre, stop with the emotionalism. Nobody with money get up here and say, you're not in my tax bracket and all that dumb shit. If that lady is so smart and everything, she should be promoting her business or what she's doing financially. Any idiot could jump up here. Any idiot could jump up here talking about their tax bracket, bro. Like I'm in California. People spending on an apartment 10 times what somebody spending for a damn house in another state. That doesn't mean anything. This lady is totally ignorant, and she said black men don't build communities. How we gonna build communities when y'all aborting up all the damn kids who create a community? Stop trying to blame us. It's not black men who listen. If black men were the problem, why do other women of other groups choose us first? Listen, bro, black Diners, black men, Diners.
As far as like abortions,
Women, listen, women from another race will take a black man, have a baby with him, they'll raise a family, right? You can't keep telling us that we're not good enough when women from other races come and choose us over everybody else, and we raise those kids, raise those families, take care of those families. It's not us, it's you guys. You guys are what keep on choosing the white man's biscuits over black families.
Can we piggyback on abortion?
Permanent residency. You're being used for a green card. You know the divorce rate amongst black men and non-black women?
Diners, go to Orange County in California. Nothing but black dudes with white wives with little kids running around. Black women, many black women try to tell us we're not good enough, but black women sold out their community for white butter biscuits.
Green card.
Most black men don't marry outside of their race.
You're not even making sense.
And bring their family in. You have
no idea what you're talking about.
The Asian population. You black men have brought this Asian population. You are used for a green card.
Give me the numbers. Like, send us a link or a citation or something like that to prove this, because you're just
Man,
babbling.
hey, bro, the Ebos don't even claim her, bro.
Women.
Like,
Black women do this.
hey, Brandon,
Black
you
women do that.
you want to know why you want to know why I divorced both of my foreign black women? Because once they come to America, this is how they start talking. You get what I'm saying? They get Americanized. So she acting no different from Shanae, Pukanisha, Trishan, LaDonna, Kamika, Tamika, Sachana, Natashanda, Kamika, none of them.
So, Obama, who do you think we should vote for?
$65,000 a year.
She acting no different from your average hood rat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens to a lot of that's why a lot of men, when they like to get the African women, they like to keep them over there in Africa.
This lady came in saying that we weren't good enough because we were too broke, then tried to say that we're the reason the black community is messed up. She came in with the same mindset many of the black women destroying black homes have. So that proves
We've
the
heard
point
this from
that it's
Cynthia
not.
G before.
Listen, she's proven the point. She didn't come in here like we need to build black jobs. She said all you guys are broke. You're no good. You're not in my income bracket. Then says y'all the problem. That's why we can't keep the family together. She literally personifies the mindset that destroys black families. Black women always thinking that there's something out there better for them. Man, my friend,
I think we keep finger pointing at each other, and we need to realize
we're
that
not.
it's
This
deeper
ain't
than
no finger pointing.
everybody's finger pointing like, oh, it's the black man, no, it's the black woman.
I just had an incident this week where my friend. Listen, I just had an incident this week. Dinus. My friend married a man, Dinus. I'm telling you a personal story that happened this week.
Obama?
Hold on, Dre. I'm telling you a personal story. My friend married a man, right? She said, I think there's something better out there for me. This dude was paying all her bills. This heifer was on Section 8 before she met this dude. He paid all her bills, her rent, her life, paid off her car, all that. This lady said, I think there's something better out there for me. Left him, kicked him up out of the house. Her daughter, who was always ganging up with her on her husband, her adult daughter, they used to gang up on her husband. Her daughter wrecked her car, Dinus. The car that he bought her, she didn't pay the insurance. She let the insurance lapse because she didn't have no money once he stopped paying all of her bills. She called him crying, Dinus. Do you know this dude said, look, I got 2 cars. I'm going to give you one of these cars so you could drive and get your other baby to school and all that stuff. She called me like, yo, this dude let me take his car. Black men consistently, Dinus, you know this from experience too. We go out of our way for these black women, but can't nobody, the internet is undefeated. Can't nobody fight with a fantasy, baby. You can't beat a fantasy. And that's what black women operate on. Pure fantasy. I want to live the Instagram lifestyle where they on vacation every day instead of working. Black men ain't left y'all behind and mistreated y'all. Y'all heifers got hypnotized by the internet and start going out there to see what you can get. And y'all not getting nothing. And so y'all got retroactively trying to blame the black man for y'all betting on taking a gamble and it not panning out. Damn you, I'm not accepting that. And no black man should. Go marry these white women or whatever if they're gonna have a family. White women are realistic. They grow up in homes. They don't grow up with lack and poverty. So they understand when they watch their daddy and mama like, ain't nothing wrong with having a 3-bedroom house in a decent neighborhood. These heifers think they about to be living in a mansion and some dude gonna pick them up at 57 years old and give them the life they always dreamed of. It ain't gonna happen, dead wench.
You're absolutely correct.
She's a super bad witch. Hey, man, what color leggings you got on?
Non-black women, so you can become
what color leggings you got on
that you really want to be.
Hey, man, what color leggings you got on? Tell the truth.
Go ahead, marry a non-black woman, so you can fulfill all of your.
Most black men don't marry non-black women. I don't know what you're talking about. Most of us don't do that.
Dre, you got to understand when you're talking to an illogical creep. It's no use of talking logic. She is having a conversation with herself.
Most Asian women actually date out or marry out.
Exactly. She's sitting up there having a conversation with herself. She is her own audience. She's her own cheerleader. She's her own pep squad in the back. Nobody's agreeing with this Ebo land hood rat. You get what I'm saying?
All of you men, I am a hood rat. I'm broke.
getting
and
bothered
the
though.
bad
No.
men.
See,
How
that's
did
the
this how
difference.
did this
See, that's the
conversation get
difference
into
between
gender
you and
wars?
us.
That's Mary
We're not
out.
gonna
Fight
tell you
for
how
it,
much
bro.
money you
Do
got,
what
because
you
we
gotta
don't
do.
care how much money you
Fight
got.
for it, bro. Do what
It's
you
your
gotta
Okay.
do.
attitude.
Do what's
Your
best for
attitude is
you. Just
dirty.
get
Your
it out, Mary
attitude
out,
is
of course.
nasty. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of you. Do what's
Like,
best.
like, like, listen, if
For
I
your
saw you in a
sensibilities.
beauty
Just Mary
if I
out.
saw you in a beauty supply shop hollering and screaming like the way you were screaming, I'd be like, she right at
Both
home.
words.
You right
Both
at
words.
home with the 36
Absolutely.
inch jacket and the
Yes.
28-inch Peruvian wavy. You know
I
what
know.
I'm saying? You caught up in, you got the colonized bug in your
100%.
system,
And in
and
that
I'm not
beauty shop,
mad.
you
The
would come
problem
first,
is,
and that gut would
that chicks
intersect me.
like you, that
You're
when you
right.
get with a white man, you would
You, I
never
get with
talk
them.
like that.
Absolutely not. He has
That's the
money.
most
So
shocking thing about women like you, that when you get with a
You
white
sound
man,
racist.
your optics
I
won't
thought you
even go
wanted to go
past
marry
6.
non-black women. I thought white
You get
women
what
and
I'm
Asian
saying?
women
Like at
were
the
the
end of the day,
please.
nobody over here don't want
I
you.
thought
And
white
only
women,
thing a
you just
white dude to
said
do
white
is
women
use
are
you
the
for
best.
target practice.
Asian
So
women,
go ahead over there. Go ahead over there and let a white dude use you for
you're
target
a
practice.
passport, bro,
Because
but I'm a
that's only
bedouin,
when your attitude changes.
and
That's
you're
one thing that
Pan-African.
we notice. That's one thing we
Then
notice
go be
about
with
these
non-black women.
husky hyena goddamn glorified bulldog black women. When they get with a white dude, their whole mentality changed, their whole aura changed, their whole persona changed. They just as soft. They sitting with their legs crossed with both hands on one leg. You know what I'm saying? They're soft
And you
spoken.
do the
They start
exact
making
same for
they
white
start making
women.
pumpkin pie
And you do
souffle. They
the
start
exact
washing
same
their
for these white
celery
and
and
Asian
carrots
women that you
in
prefer.
dishwater so they can be clean as crisp. That's what you do. But when you come around black men, because black men will let you have that floor to speak the way you speak, and all you speaking is venom. It is no type of collaboration. It's no type of working with. If you want to use
All of your
you can use
commentary
you
about
can
black
use your
women
statistic.
reflects
You can use
collaboration.
you can use your statistics
You
to
really
help,
want
or you can
collaboration
use
the
your
way you're speaking
statistics
about
to
black women.
hurt.
You really want
That's
collaboration.
one thing that people noticed about me when I came on here, when I was using my statistic. They thought that I was using it for hurt, but I'm using it for facts for us to be better. You can use your statistic any way you want to, but you choose to have venom behind it. So therefore, you're making it personal. We're not making it personal with
Of
you.
course
We don't
not.
give a fuck
Of
about
course
how
not.
much money you make, or how much
Absolutely
money
not,
you
because you
want,
can't
how
make
much
that
money
much. But continue.
you have. But you
As you'll
think
never make as much as I do.
because
Continue.
it's black men on here, some type
All
of
black
way,
men
some type of way
complaining.
you make more
All
than
black
all of
men
us.
complaining to
Because
a white man.
that's the shit that's engraved
That's
in your head.
so,
You
yeah, that's
automatically
real mature.
you
That's very
automatically
masculine.
think by your
Complaining about what
statistics
someone
that
else
you
is
make
not
more
doing
than
for
every
you.
black man on this panel.
You are a
And
What?
black
that's a
man
weird way of being,
What
complaining
are you
baby.
to
talking
That's
about?
just
produces
being
or a TV
self-centered.
produces, but you can
You just
complain
self-centered. And
to and
let me
about a
explain
white
something
man.
to you too. We can sing
Because the
at the
white
same
man is doing
time, but
everything,
we can't talk at the
everything
same
wrong.
time. So
And then
you
you're
just
gonna
sit up
go
there
vote
babbling.
for your
You
white
just sit up
baddie
there
Trump
babbling.
and
Listen
his
to
golf
yourself.
cart
Nobody is
to
paying
somehow
attention to
miraculously
you.
give you everything that you need and
Nobody is
more.
helping you. Even if you
So
up
you
here
always
against
go
all
to a
these
white
men,
man
it is
to
nobody in the
complain and
chat that's
also
on
obtain
your side,
resources.
because you sound unhinged. You need to go back in
I'm
the village
unhinged.
and
But
grab
what
a
if I
couple
say
of them
that's not
jerry
true?
cans of
This is
water
more
and goddamn go
commentary.
put them on top of your head so you can get some humility back in your system, so you
Humility.
can get some of
If
that
you want
racist, so you
humility,
can get
then
some of
go to
that,
the
so get
non-black
some of that
women that you
racist
desire.
colonized system
Go
out you.
be the
You know what I'm saying?
princess that
Because
you can
nobody would
always
want you.
be.
But we know you will change. We would know you
Of
would
course not.
transform like Optimus
I
Prime
know it's
when you
transformed
get
like
with a
Optimus
white
Prime.
dude. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you'll be
You'll
the
be
one
singing the
right
song.
there
You'll be singing the praises of,
running.
oh, white man,
G.I.
oh,
Joe.
oh God,
Go
I
find
beg
a
go when you
non-black
get with a
woman
white
to
dude.
make
But you
all
want
your
to come
dreams
over
come
here
true.
and spew out your venom because Diners let you
Spew
do it.
out the
And that's
venom.
what's
The
greater.
dinosaurs
That's
let you
one
do
thing
it.
that's great
All
about
these
his
men, black
platform,
men on
that
this
he let
panel,
people like you
you're
that
here
come up here
complaining
and you show
to
your
a white
thing.
man and
You can see
complaining
you can
about a
show
white
your
man.
thing, your fangs
Because
are out,
according to
your
white men,
clothes are out. You can see your spine. You know what I'm saying? You are blatant, like you blatant with it for no reason. And you just mad and upset with black baby. I don't know who did whatever to you, but black man don't owe you
I think
nothing.
she's a Sinji follower, or was a Sinji follower.
Man, she don't know who she follows because she follow her own
Or
rhetoric.
somebody,
She's
some of those divestors that used to exist online.
You're
Oh
the
yeah, she a
followers.
super
That's the
man. Listen,
problem.
bro, she's the
You are
type
the
of person that
follower.
sit up there
You don't
and
want to
gain
be
information and be like,
accountable and
"Aha, great! I
responsible.
can use this
If
against
you're
black men."
accountable and
That's
responsible,
that's the
there
crazy
is
thing
no
about people
complaining
like
about
that.
white
That
men.
they use their
You would just go
intellect
and get
to
that money.
downgrade.
You
They
would go
use
get that
they use their
reparations,
intellect
ADOS.
to sit
But
up there and
no, you complain
assume.
about everyone. If
You
it's
sit
not
up there,
white
sit up
What do
there
you
and
mean
try to
complain?
make.
black immigrant, it's either the white man or the tether, one or the other. That's what comes
Girl,
out of
you
your
at the
mouth.
wrong
It
channel.
goes
See what I'm saying? She
it
don't
goes
even know
back
where
and
she
forth
at.
with you.
I think she's coming at me
It goes
for
back
that.
and forth with you, Ilk. It's going to be a tether or it's going to be a white man.
Oh,
White
she
man's done
already
something.
gave you a straight
Now,
earlier, Tika Lee.
it's
You
always
already
going to be
caught.
something.
That's
It's
your
nothing
second
but
straight. That's your
complaints.
second straight, Tika Lee.
Now another second straight what? What
I'm
No,
not
I don't have
saying.
anything against immigrants. I just don't like the fact that they try to, speak for us. That's the
No
only
one's
thing.
speaking for you. Speak for yourself. Go do what you need to do.
You go do what you need to do.
Go do what you need to do. You're seeking all these actions and activities, ADOS, FBA. Go get it done. Go move. Go get it done.
That's what the groups are doing. That's what the movements are doing.
Fantastic. And there's no need to even mention an immigrant anything.
That's FBA. That's usually what Tariq does. He usually badmouths immigrants.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I
She's
don't
on this
agree with that.
platform.
It's going
Dre,
to be
she's
one or
on
the
this
other.
platform having a conversation with people that don't even talk like that.
Talk
We
like
ain't,
what? All
like
you
we
do
don't
is
even
talk.
talk. We don't even talk against African people on this
I
channel.
think without context, I mean, yeah. I
All
mean,
you do is talk. That's it.
That's all you
do is
doing,
talk.
hood rat.
You're a man.
You
And all you
showing
do
your
is
true
talk.
colors.
Of course, I'm showing my true colors. Yes, absolutely. I'm a hood rat, bedwench. What else am I? That's all you do.
Oh,
is
you are a
talk.
super bad wench.
Super bedwench. Fantastic. I know. I get it. You're in California.
we have to put it in the proper
all these
context
dark
as far
men
as
with
like
non-black men,
talking
criminal
about the
hood rats,
quote unquote
bedwench.
tethers or
You have your
the-
passport. If I'm sure your criminal background cleared, you have your passport. Then go out and find yourself someone else.
Oh, I
There's
do.
no need to complain.
I got my African nice
Hold on, let me ask
toe
Obama. Hold on, Obama girl. Okay, yo, we know you don't like black men. Okay, I don't even know why you're on the panel. Like, why are you on the panel?
You said I didn't like black men.
Okay, let me ask Drew a question real quick. Drew, just real quick on the politics thing, man. So you see the severity of this election. Do you think black people will be taken seriously if Joe Biden wins?
I don't think he will be taken. Our people will be taken seriously with neither one, but especially not
No,
Biden.
they will be taken. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
I don't think it's enough of our people that really are into it like that. I think it's too many of our people that either oppose it or have a defeatist attitude and don't want to, look into how we move politically.
Drew, do you understand that the black vote won't matter if Biden wins? Do you get that? This is the
But we
reason
are the
why they
backbone of the
don't want
Democratic
Trump
Party,
to win. No, but Drew, you understand that if Biden wins and black folks vote 90% for him, do you understand that the liberals are going to get all their agendas through? They're going to get all
I
their
agree with you.
Supreme Court justice. So why the hell would they need black people anymore? Do you understand that if we
Because we're the
put
backbone
our
of the
vote
Democratic Party,
behind
we
Trump,
overwhelmingly vote Democrat, and that's why we need to stop that. We need to vote against that as well as the Republicans too, against both.
But Drew, if Trump wins, do you not understand the signal that will go through the Democrats and say, "Wow, these guys, we really don't have the black vote anymore. We need to start taking them
Black issues will
seriously."
be ignored on either side, though. That's just what I'm saying.
But Drew, okay, to a certain extent, some black issues will be ignored. That's more on us for
No,
not having a
all of them
policy agenda.
under Republicans.
No, Drew. Closing that border, not going to war with Russia,
Okay, so closing
and
the
other
border,
foreign
is that going to
countries. No,
benefit us? And
that does
how is it going to
benefit us.
benefit us completely? I mean, I understand it might have some benefits, but I'm saying, like, name a benefit that it would give us in terms of, like, just tamping down on, like, the number of migrants that come over here.
No, Drew. There are economical benefits. There are job benefits for black people. There are cultural benefits.
All they're
Black
going to do
people
is
will
just
have
give
more
us the same
representation
jobs that we've
in the
been
neighborhood.
working. I mean, it's just going to be the same.
T, we tried. Listen, T, Brandon did a whole show with that brother right there. Showed him he put up stats of things that he agree with and what he don't agree with. Brandon didn't tell him who was the
He was trying to
policies
coerce me
and
to vote for Trump.
hold on for a second, Drake. Come on, bro. Let's not do that. Let's not act like the hood rat, bro. Tika Lee, Brandon put up stats and statistics for him and asked him, do he agree with it? Before he would tell him who policies there were. So he put up 5 stats, 5 policies. The brother Dre agree with all 5, right? All 5.
Oh, name them. Go ahead and name them.
Bro, come on, bro. We ain't got to listen. I was on the show. I was watching the show, Dre. Come on now, bro. I was sitting. Remember, I was on the show. I was sitting there telling you that all of those that you agreed with happen to be Republican. All 5 things that he agreed with, Tika Lee, was Republican policies and Republicans' agendas. You get what I'm saying? But
can you prove it to me?
Bro, what are you talking about? Let me give you one. You sit up there and said that that Biden handled that more people died from COVID under Trump than it was Biden, and we proved to you that was wrong.
But was that from the previous presidency, or was that from?
You just asked me to tell you. See, this is what he does.
No, I'm just challenging that to see get the facts right, because I feel like y'all don't like people to fact check.
Brother Tika Lee, he's one of them brothers that no matter what you tell him, it's in his DNA. I don't know if it came from his mama.
Okay, so we talked about the HBCUs, right?
Like that,
and then we also talked about the HBCUs.
He looks at things on a micro level, Tika Lee, so he doesn't understand the logic of sending out a signal, a worldwide signal with the politics with the polls.
I just don't think that Trump is going to benefit us all the way. I just don't
understand that point at all. But the thing about it is you're not seeing that Tika Lee. He's not seeing the way that the Democrats play the game. They playing chess, not checkers. Dre is playing checkers. So he's not even thinking, he's not even seeing what we seeing.
I'm just trying to figure out which type of policy is Trump going to create for us.
Let me say this last point, Tika Lee, and you can have them. You can go back with them. What Tika Lee is saying that would you bring them the signal so you can make them come to the table and ask you what you want, ask you what you need for us to get you back on our side. But as long as you stay voting for them 90%, as long as you being a bottom bitch to the and
I didn't say I was voting Democrat.
You, my brother. Definitely not talking about you. But this is what we're talking about as a whole. We got them. If we don't change the numbers at a whole, you might as well go ahead and vote Democrat. If you're gonna vote for a third party, you got to vote for somebody. Listen, what I'm saying. If it's either the Crips or the Bloods, it ain't.
This is too reflexive. It's too binary, man. Like we need more other alternatives.
I'm trying to, but that's not where we at right now.
I know we live under a 2-party system. I understand we live under a 2-party system, but I don't think we should gravitate towards Trump just because Biden is.
But at the point now, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. You got to do something to get the Democrat Party to come to you. If they got to
Trump is going to create more tax cuts like he did the last time. That's all he's going to do.
Drake, please make this last point. Let me tell you something, bro.
Please don't plebiscite, Babel.
Hey, if you got a female that you ain't never got to take out to eat, and you ain't got to never take her nowhere, and you can still go in the room and bust that coot to kente wide open, whatever you want to, without doing anything for her, then why would she? And then still she don't go anywhere. Why would you do anything for her? When she's sitting up there, and on top of that, not only is she staying there, she's boosting you up, she's praising you, she's all hail Drake, and you ain't doing nothing for her, but she's being a down hoe to you. You get what
I
I'm
just
saying?
think we're too focused on Biden and Trump and not focused on other options. I mean, what about Cornel West, or what about not really what's his name, Robert F. Kennedy? But I know he's not really in favor of us either.
Robert Drew, it's not gonna happen, bro. The election is what,
but still, that's why I said we should vote locally, because neither group has any agenda for us. This is what I'm saying. I mean, basically, Trump is going to be in favor of the rich, and then Biden is going to be in favor of all the other minorities, and then we're going to be excluded. That's basically what's going to happen. Is going to maintain the status quo. I'm not going to sit here and vote for a president that's just going to maintain the status quo, whether it be Republican or Democrat. Because Trump, that's all Trump is. He's just a businessman that basically is in favor of other entrepreneurs, but not in favor of people who are on the other side of the spectrum.
Drew, have you ever seen a president, like, because I hear what you're saying, Drew, if Donald Trump was like a Mitt Romney or a George Bush, I swear to God, there would not be none of these stupid trials going on. The reason why Trump is being attacked as aggressively and hard as he is because he's an independent. He's not controlled. Do you understand that even the Republicans are attacking Trump? Have you ever heard of a never Trumper? How come all these warmongers like Bill Kristol and all of these other neocons who was always Republicans now against Trump? And how come there are organizations like the Lincoln Project funded
So
by
so even when you
fake
talk about the
Republicans going
insurrection, so
against
you don't
Trump?
believe he was behind the insurrection that happened back in
Bro,
2021?
bro, you know what, bro? That, bro, if you
Dude,
don't want to go down
Dre, that's been completely debunked.
yeah,
I mean,
bro.
come on, man.
Yeah, bro. Come on.
See, this is what I'm
A
saying.
bunch
Like, I
of
feel like
unarmed
y'all are
white
sounding like
boys
white
was gonna take
conservatives.
over this country, bro? Are you
Hold
serious?
on for a second.
Bunch of unarmed white boys. The world's
Hold on
powerful
for a
country.
second. Tickly,
I
hold
think
on for
y'all
a
are sounding
second.
like the Proud Boys, like white
Dre,
nationalists in blackface. That's just what I'm saying, you know.
Dre, who told you it was an insurrection?
I mean, of course the media said that or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, are you saying that didn't
Exactly.
exist?
So hold
Are you
on,
saying that
this
Trump
the
wasn't
next question.
behind that or it had something to do
Let
with
me
it?
follow me, bro. Come on, don't do the monologue. Let me ask you the next question. Name me one person that was charged with insurrection.
Didn't they charge all of the people that were a part of the insurrection?
They was not charged with, not one person was charged with insurrection. That is a MSNBC, CNN talking point. That
But
was
how do you
not
know
an.
that Fox News is
Now,
telling the
hold on for
complete
a
truth?
second, bro.
I
Hold on
mean,
for a second.
Oh
Hold on
God,
for a second.
Dre,
Now,
he
I do
asked the
want to.
question: who was charged with insurrection, Dre?
I can't pinpoint the names, but what
Okay,
I can
go
say
ahead,
is that it did
go ahead.
exist. It did
Bruh,
exist.
not one person was charged with insurrection. What they was charged with was the duties of not for stopping to hold account. That's it. That's what they was charged with. And some of those, hold on, and then some of those is gonna get dropped because you can't do it unless you doing it with some paperwork. You just occupying a building. It's not an insurrection. Do you not? Let me explain something to you. If there was an insurrection, why you think that the only person that died on the people that was raiding the Capitol, it was a woman that died? Why nobody else didn't die if it was an insurrection?
So why are you saying it didn't exist, or why are you trying to make it seem like it
I'm
wasn't a
trying
thing?
to tell you. I'm trying to tell you
Or that it
that
wasn't
you
as
say
bad.
you're the perfect example of somebody that sit up there and say they not a Democrat, but you talk all
I
the
never said I
Democrat
was
talk.
Democrat. I'm just every
I
time
just
somebody goes
said
against
that.
Trump, y'all are so quick to always say that I'm being
Dre, you got to take
a
off
Democratic shield.
your plantation ears. I just said you said that you're not a Democrat, but you're not
But that doesn't mean
listening
I'm
to
Republican
comprehend,
either.
bruh. You're not listening to comprehend. You're listening to respond. You're just waiting for me to stop talking so you can respond. So let me say it one more time. You are the type of person that say you're not a Democrat, but all your talking points come from CNN and MSNBC because only they say it's an insurrection. Not one lawyer, not one judge have found anybody guilty, has not been charged or not been found the insurrection. So why do they call it? That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of if you get caught with a ounce of weed and then somebody say that you got caught with heroin, but they just keep calling it heroin, even though you got caught with an ounce of weed, and they keep saying, well, weed killed somebody, so it's just as deadly as heroin. But did you
That's
get
actually
charged
untrue
with?
that people were not
Hold on,
convicted
man.
because
Well, when you talk about the January 6th, we got to come at logic. This is the world's most powerful country.
can I
The
go over like this
logic
article with you to kind of like disprove your point?
Drew,
It
logically
says,
Hey,
speaking, this is a
guys,
second amendment country.
hey, T, let me pass it to C Dog because then we're gonna close out. Go ahead, C Dog.
Real quick, man. I don't know how long y'all been live, but I'm glad I came across this live, though. You know what I'm saying? But real
3
quick,
hours
man.
and 50 minutes, my brother. Welcome.
But real quick, look, man. What a lot of our black people do identity politics. You know what I'm saying? Like say with the border and everything. Trump and Obama basically are both the same with the border. You know what I'm saying? But people like Obama was deporting more people than Trump. They were both on the same page with it. But some people just don't like Trump just because of the stuff he says. You know what I'm saying? You know, they don't look at the
and did.
policies. You know what I'm saying? Like even when Biden said he was gonna be lax on the borders. Now we got fucking open borders. You know what makes it really makes it a joke? 6 months before the election, you try to change it or whatever, you know. But all that shit was bullshit, you know. But look, man, I have no faith in the Democrats. Like, look, man, I live down here in Georgia right now. I'm talking about Fannie Willis is trash. It's another woman. I'm about to drop some on my channel when I get a chance. But it's another black woman down here. She donated money to Fannie Willis. She got hit with a $15 million PPP loan. She was down here in Atlanta driving a pink Rolls Royce with pink rims, like a whole bunch of dumbass shit, man. Even the mayor in Chicago, trash. Like, I done learned so much about mayors and governors just over these last 2 or 3 years, man, because so many of them are fucking trash. And a lot of black people like me, I'm not gonna lie, put some of these people in power. You know, just by with all that bullshit with the DEI and a lot of the bullshit that was going on. But what I'm doing from here on out, man, I'm going with who got the best policy. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the black and white shit. Who got the best policy? Who got the best for me? You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we paying like right now, man, immigrants getting free money, like a whole bunch of free shit. If I lose my job, anybody on here on this live chat right here or in the StreamYard, we lose our job right now, we can't get no free shit. Like, it's a lot of dumbass shit going on in America right now. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the Democrats, man. But I just want to say that, man. Look, man, just do your research, man. Look at the goddamn policies, man. Fuck what they say on TV.
I agree with you.
Look at the goddamn policies, man. Man, Trump went with, look, inflation is fucked up right now. I'm 41 years old. I want to buy a house. Man, if anybody want to, man, you have no chance of buying a house right now. The interest rate is fucked up right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, a lot of shit fucked up, man. Look, man, my cousin got A1 credit, retired military. He paying $1,200 for a goddamn truck payment right now. Like, shit crazy right now, man.
What kind of truck he got? What kind of truck he got?
My man, it don't matter. It don't matter. That's what I'm telling you. Just the interest rate so crazy. It don't matter how good your credit is.
I see, dog. That yes, it does, bro. That credit score ain't A1 if he paying $1,200 a month, dog. Either that means he ain't putting that down and he driving a brand new Escalade. You get what I'm saying?
Look, listen to me, man. My cousin, look, he retired military, still work for the government. Look, his shit A1, man. I'm just telling you, man. Right now, shit fucked up with the interest rates, man. Shit just fucked up out here. You know what I'm saying?
Would you say that Biden is the reason why inflation has happened, or would you say it's corporate greed?
Nah, I mean, boy, that's another thing. That's another thing, real quick, man. Biden ain't doing shit. Why are we even talking about Biden? He can't do shit. This nigga, man. What's the $1 million question is? Who been running the goddamn country since this nigga won the goddamn election? Because he can't do shit. He ain't been doing shit.
See, dog, black women don't care. They was all think about it like this, see, dog. Black women was all at the Essence Festival sitting up there talking about they don't care if Biden's in a wheelchair with a bag of blood hanging off of him, they're still gonna vote for them. This is how black women think. They don't care nothing about the agenda. They don't care nothing about foreign policy. They don't care nothing about none of that. All they care about is black girl magic and who get to twerk their ass at the BET Awards and who get to talk about certain things. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Black women will be loud and wrong and run the black community in the dirt. And then you'll get guys like Dre right here that's on the fence line with no backbone, would not stand up and say that, okay, you know what, I need to use something to my leverage with a power unit. This is not
I'm trying to be logical.
But now if you want to talk about no, you're not being logical.
No, voting for Trump is not logical.
Hold on, let me tell you something, Dre. If you was logical, I would be on your side. I would say in 4 years. I would say in 4 years, let's go with the Green Party or whatever. Let's crank that shit up in 4 years. But we can't crank that shit up in 4 months, Dre. The election coming in November. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick a side. You can't be on the fence talking about.
I'm not picking a side up top because it doesn't benefit my group.
The vote really matters.
That's
I'm
the
telling
whole
you,
point, Dre. That's the
that's a
whole
fact.
point, though. That's the whole point. You're not picking a side. If you're not picking a side of the two powers, it's just like you're not doing nothing at all.
The
Because
platinum plan is trash.
neither one of the people in the Green parties are independent. It's not gonna even get 3% or 6%.
No, the platinum plan is not good for us.
These people don't understand politics, man.
My
You know
man,
what I'm saying? How that is work.
my man who said it's not good for us. Hold on. My man who said it's not good for us.
Yeah, the reason why is because the $500 billion will be contributed to federal contracts. And you know that per year, federal contracts themselves is like $694 billion. So that would take most of the federal contract budget. That wouldn't make any sense. It didn't say anything about reparations. It just said $500 billion in federal contracts
My man, real
for small businesses or small business
real quick.
owners.
Hold on. Excuse me, sir. Hold on. Please,
Bro,
real quick.
you lost, Dre.
You lost me. Real quick. I don't give a fuck about reparations, Dre. You ain't no goddamn
Well, that's why I'm
slave,
not
nigga.
voting for Trump, because Trump is not in favor of
You ain't no
reparations.
goddamn slave, nigga. So I want to hear that shit, nigga. He said,
See, y'all sounding like white
right now,
supremacists.
nigga.
You sound like a white supremacist.
Let me.
Y'all
are racist as fuck on here, man.
Well, Mike, let's not use the N word here. No N word, please. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, guys, listen, we're gonna close out. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. But the next time, family, that is Search for Her Root. Peace.
Bye, mammy.